Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, should I move over?
Hey.
Oh, should I move over?
Maybe a little
Hey,
bit.
good, man.
That's good.
Can I get close to you?
You can, but then we'll be all
Oh,
weird.
then my head gets cut off.
It's a weird thing how we got it going on. He's right here.
Yeah.
Well, your arm just did a super Mr. Fantastic
I
for.
don't know.
Yeah, like Stretch Armstrong.
When are they going to create a camera for this that does like wide angle? You could set it there.
They do have those, but they're kind of expensive because it's going to be like an actual camera
Technically, I could have used my
with an actual lens.
Yeah.
my Canon and used. I have a fisheye. We could use a fisheye or
Shander.
just even a wider lens. But yeah.
Hi, John.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I have a drink.
It's very good to see you, buddy.
Yep. Welcome everyone who is new to our stream. I'm Sin. This is Chris and
I'm John Tenney.
Tenney.
John E.L. Tenney. Look above. Follow him on Twitter. Excuse me. Goddamn.
And it's spooky season.
It is.
It is.
It is indeed.
One of the reasons I'm here. Spooky season.
Last time you were here, probably about, was it 2 years ago?
I think it was about 2
before
years ago.
lockdown. It was October 9. I think you were here. And
Really?
Now it's October 11. Yeah.
2 years.
Well,
Yeah.
That's too long.
this is your fourth time. Here.
But it doesn't seem like 2 years.
Yeah.
Quarantine has made everything long and short
yeah.
because it seems like 10 years, but it's only been 2, but it only seems like a year.
It's like we traveled through a wormhole
Yeah.
somewhere
No
along
one-
the way.
2020 was a blur for me. Like, a blink of an eye, for sure. Thank you guys for the follows. No alerts right now. Where am I at here?
I don't know.
I'll put something in chat here.
But yeah, what have you been up to? What have you been working on? What's new in John Tenney's world?
I have a podcast I've been doing called What's Up Weirdo with my friend Jessica, where it's just her and I on the phone yelling at each other about stupid things. And it was weird because it was one of those things that was born out of quarantine, which was I missed sitting at the bar listening to nonsense conversations while I was getting drunk. And I thought, I wonder how many other people feel that way. And so
Everybody.
Jess and I talked to each other on the phone almost every day. And I was like, instead of like getting mixing boards and microphones and editing and having opening song and like topics,
All this crap.
yeah, what if we just recorded a phone conversation and released it? And I think it works pretty well. Like, people seem to like it. And aside from that, I mean, I don't know, man, quarantine. It's just nonsense. This past few months has been crazy because we did Michigan Paracon.
Yeah,
You guys were there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was
Wow,
awesome.
dude. Hell yeah.
And
So
then
I
they're
tried
just...
to make you look not so much like a vampire.
Me?
It worked. Yeah. No, it's a little too much brightness. So.
Oh.
Yeah. He looked like a vampire. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and then there were just I think I've talked about this on the podcast, but like my first venture out into the world was I went and filmed an episode of Kindred Spirits in Wisconsin,
Okay.
which hasn't aired yet. It's comes out on their next season. And then, like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but
Yo, fuck NDA.
I don't fucking care. I don't have any secrets. And then I did an event at Belvoir Winery, then Michigan Paracon, and then it just started rolling because it got close to spooky time.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's doing this, and then I have Weirdsville Records in Mount Clemens. My friend Dave Taylor's store, Weirdsville Records in
Dead
Mount
Dave
Clemens.
Show?
The Dead
Dave
Dave
Taylor?
Show,
That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool.
The Wednesday before, on the 27th, I'm doing a lecture at his record store. And then on the 29th is Stash in Detroit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. When
Wednesday, you say?
you're doing a
We might be able to make that.
when
Yeah.
you do a shout out for what's it, Kyle Paranormal? When are you gonna do stuff with him?
Oh, I'm doing a seance on Kyle
Yeah.
Paranormal Chaos and Shadow on Saturday night.
There's a link to him.
So lots going on.
Heck yeah.
I think that's how you spell it, because he does
Are
just
you
chat.
working on another book, or is that? I imagine that.
No, I have
brain.
I was investigating all like these weird alien sightings. So I put those all together in a book. So I put out Theoretical Weirdo 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then this year was supposed to be Anecdotal Weirdo, which was a book of just all the weird stories of things that have happened to me. And then the third book is called Analytical Weirdo, which is all just data.
Okay.
But now they're being pushed because I put this other book about all these alien encounters together. And that will come out in December. So
is it like people that you've talked to about this, like actual experiences you've had, or
yeah, so I'm in like at the end of 2017, I think, beginning of 2018, I started getting reports of like weird aliens, like 3 foot by 3 foot cubes covered in hair that like float through trees and
I
stuff.
remember you saying something
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
and like a body with an aquarium, but like a robot head walking through a neighborhood. So it's all interviews I did with those people, and then like in the book, because of the way I am, like I charted when they saw them, what time of day. So there's like graphs and charts to see if there's any like correlation between them. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty weird. That doesn't technically have a name. The book doesn't. That was like the least of important thing that I was putting together. But then there's a whole bunch of other like little side projects that I'm trying to get together to, which is always just time, trying to put them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rebuild. I'll break this. So in 1954, Detroit had one of the very first UFO clubs in the United States. It was called the Detroit Flying Saucer Club.
Okay.
And they brought in flying saucer lectures, but it was this really big thing. And then after Detroit formed, all of these other flying saucer groups started popping up all over the place. I have a shirt online that I sell that says Detroit Flying Saucer Club, organized in 1954. But I'm rebooting the Detroit Flying Saucer Club.
Okay.
So, like,
I'll join.
Yeah, so in December, people will be able to join the Detroit Flying Saucer Club.
Yeah, I'm totally joining.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
the book you're writing about the UFOs, like
Yeah.
all your encounters, like
Is it localized?
how far back does it go? Like, what's your first?
No, so this book just focuses on the end of 2017 up until the sightings stopped, which was in 2019.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's just this weird, almost 2-year span of time when people were seeing absolute bizarre nonsense, tomfoolery, and like, so it's all relatively new. And the cool thing about it is, in there I put like the locations that people saw, like the UFOs and the aliens. So you can also use it as like a trip book to go to the places where people saw these weird creatures.
That's pretty cool.
John, you know Shan Derp. She wants in.
Yeah.
Oh, in the UFO club?
Yeah, she wants in in the club.
Well, I'll make that announcement when it comes. There's a bunch of moving parts because one of the things that I want to do, there's only like 3 surviving members of the original Detroit Flying Saucer Club.
From 56?
From 54, yeah.
Oh,
because
54,
because they were all mostly in their 30s in 1954. But I tracked down a few that still exist, the 3 that I think are the only living remaining ones. And before I do anything, I don't really it's not getting their blessing, but I kind of want them to be at the first Detroit Flying Saucer event.
Yeah.
And kind of talk about what it was like to chase flying saucers in the 1950s.
That'd be awesome.
I think you could call that their blessing.
Yeah. But you never know, too, because, again, like, they've grown up and grown older, and maybe this was something they only did for a year.
Oh, that's true.
In 1954, and now they're like, oh, it's all bullshit. Like, we were a train wreck of a group.
Well,
or like people thought we were crazy and I had to stop talking about it because they were
the stigma
weird at us and who knows? Yeah.
Marley, you're not allowed.
But the other thing too, that leads the Detroit Flying Saucer Club this year, announcing that in December. That leads to this Detroit Flying Saucer Club initiative thing, which I want to do in 2022, which is the Detroit Flying Saucer Club. So I've already got them printed, and once the Flying Saucer Club's announced and people can join and all that stuff. So like this guy saw a flying saucer. He ended up he said the aliens told him that he was king of the universe at one point. He was a baker from Detroit.
Okay.
And they gave him the title of Prince Newsom, King of Tithian. I don't know what any of that means, but that's what the aliens told him. And so where he met the aliens and the flying saucer, I know where that location is. In Dearborn, a guy saw little green men come out of a flying saucer. I know where that location is. So when the Detroit Flying Saucer Club reforms, I have metal signs made that on this date at this location, so-and-so saw a flying saucer.
That's cool.
And then we're going to approach each of the cities for permission to put them up all across the state of Michigan.
That would be amazing.
So that people can, again, make road trips to go to where these flying saucers landed.
That's a fantastic idea.
I mean, we're down for coming with you to do that.
Yeah, it'll be a fun
That's gonna
adventure, for
that's gonna
sure.
be fun, dude. It's gonna be stupid fun. Right on. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you don't know John E.L. Tenney, click those links. See what he's been up to. This is John E.L. Tenney.
It's so weird to watch, like, to want to talk to you over here.
Yeah.
But knowing the camera's there.
Well, if you're...
It still catches like that we're.
Yeah.
What if I just talk to you guys like this the whole time while
I
looking
mean,
at
you
the
can.
camera?
Then we could
If you want-
we could
yeah.
stare at this camera.
If you want to make a point.
Does that make more sense? Should we just be looking at our cameras?
I don't know. What
It
is
seems really odd. It makes me feel really creepy.
Yeah, it's weird. You're like,
It's a weird setup we got going on.
I love it, but
I,
it's
I
weird.
think
Weird
like
setup, yeah.
just like a nice angle.
What have you two been doing since I was last year?
Playing video
Holy
games.
shit.
A lot.
Last time you were
A
here
lot
was
of
2
video-
years ago.
Yeah,
Though, dude.
I don't know.
Staying at home.
Paracon was like the last thing we really did, and yeah, just been
Yeah.
playing a lot.
Well, the last big
of
thing,
Video
man,
games.
yeah.
I've been reading lots of books. Right now, I'm reading A Wonder to Behold, Andrea Perron's
Mhm.
book, which
Dude,
is great. I'm
Andrea-
almost done with it.
Andrea Perron wrote her a fucking paragraph.
Andrea's
When
great.
she signed,
She wrote
She's great.
Marley.
Have
a
you gotten to the
sentence.
point where in A Wonder to Behold that I'm in?
you're all over that book.
Yeah.
Like you're mentioned so many times. What is the part?
Andrea's
many many parts that
Andrea's
you're in. she is.
She is great.
She's like a
But I just like to fuck with Marley.
loving.
I was about to say, like, whenever you're at an event, like when she walks into the room, it's like, oh,
Yeah, serious-
like flowing
seriously.
robes and like,
Oh my god, no, it
like,
really
it really
Yes,
is.
it really is. She's like got this magical something to her.
And at the same time, though, like,
But
speaks like a sailor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I've never heard her say I don't like that about anything. She doesn't not like anything. She's like, she never said anything bad about anything.
I've heard her say some negative things politically.
Well, that's between you and her. You know her a little.
I've
bit
heard her say it at lectures too. As a matter of fact, I had UFO contact in Houghton Lake.
oh, how was that?
It was really good. But I got on stage to do my lecture. I was the last presenter of the night. And I got up on stage and I started talking. I almost swore and I caught myself. And then I like looked at the audience and the promoters and I was like, is it okay if I swear? And like en masse, people in the audience were like, Andrea just talked before you. And I was like, oh, okay, so I can pretty much say anything I fucking want to say.
Nice. Oh, and you can swear all you want in here too.
Well,
I swear like a
cock
sailor.
balls. I don't know. So I told you this when.
you went straight to cock and balls
Well,
for
it's
your
from,
swears.
It's from old school.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
It's earmuffs, cock balls. Yeah. So
Oh.
I don't know either.
this last Michigan Paracon, we watched. You actually had a full lecture because the last time we went, you were moderating the Hellier panel. And if you guys know Hellier, please look that up. But I think from all the times that we've seen you, I think you fucking nailed it, and that's the best I've ever seen you ever.
It was because I took my shoes off.
Yeah, and your tie.
Loosen
And
the
my
tie,
tie.
the shoes off, dude. You fucking nailed it.
No, it was this really strange thing where, like, I hadn't done a lecture in front of that many people in a long time, and I got in my head about it. Like, you have to be entertaining, you have to be funny, and then like I walked out there and I started feeling like, can I still be all these things after quarantine?
Yeah.
And then there was this thing in my head that was like, you're a pretty okay person. People like you. You can be funny. Just relax and be yourself. And that's when I like had to do something weird. And it was just take my shoes off and take my tie off. And then
Yeah.
it was off to the races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Thanks.
If I was
So
ever a performer on stage, I would be that person not wearing shoes all the time because
Yeah.
I just don't like shoes.
Well, I don't know, because I walk back and forth so much on the stage. Sometimes it like wearing socks is very bad.
Okay, fair enough.
Because you feel yourself slipping and you're like,
yes.
"Ugh."
Well, because
Don't want to bite it
No.
on stage. Well, you
stage
gotta get the
usually-
traction socks then.
It's usually wood or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had a couple. Have you ever slipped on the floor and hurt yourself?
A couple times.
Like hurt yourself? I
Bruised-
gave myself two
bruised
major
tailbone.
concussions when I was a kid.
Never that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hospital style concussions. My cousin and I used to go down in my family.
Running?
My cousin and I used to go in my family's basement, and the basement was just a poured concrete floor. But we would put socks on We'd put 2 pair of socks on, and then we would take furniture polish, and we'd spray the concrete floor.
Oh, no.
And then we'd run and slide like we were on an ice rink.
Oh, my goodness.
And 2 times in my life, my feet came up and my head hit the fucking concrete floor like
no.
boom. And went to the hospital both times. But the thing that grosses me out the most is my cousin told me the second time I did that, it was like a year after the first time I did it. The second time I did it, my cousin said he knew it was bad because when my head hit the concrete floor, my head didn't bounce.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That's horrible.
Just like an overripe cantaloupe. Blub.
Oh.
John, do you know of anybody that recorded your lecture at the last Paracon?
I hope not.
Okay.
No one got
Well,
any
Shan-
pictures of
Shan
you
Dirk
taking
was
your
asking,
shoes or your tie
yeah.
off either that I saw.
I think Jessica has me taking my
Does
shoes
she?
into
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I have one I took you, but
Shan
you're
Dirk was
still...
asking if anybody recorded.
I don't ever
Yeah.
record any of my lectures.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people have done it, but I've also told people to not post them online. I don't know if have we ever discussed that before?
No.
So, years ago, God, this has got to be 10 or 15 years ago. This guy came from France to see a lecture I was doing in Chicago. And that lecture in Chicago got recorded. And, this must have been 10 years ago because YouTube was a thing. But he went back to France and then someone posted that lecture online. And then he sent me an email and said, like, I still really enjoyed your lecture. If I would have known it would have been available on the internet, I wouldn't have paid all the money to fly from France to see you.
Dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a shitty thing to say, but at the same time too, like, people are making an effort to go and see a thing. And it should be a special thing, and it should be only for them. And then once that lecture is gone, it's gone. And it was all of us to share in that moment. Me taking my shirt and my shoe or my shoes and my tie off, like that'll probably never happen again. So that was a thing that happened that one time that no one will see again at a lecture. Yeah. Like it's kind of special.
It is. You're right, and I get it.
And then I feel like a lot of times too, when clips of me get posted on the internet, because I had to do some for television shows where they'll do a talking head of me saying something. Like 7 years later, my idea has changed from that clip.
Yeah.
But people still want to ask me if I think about, like, well, I saw you on YouTube say this. And I'm like, that was 7 years ago. And they're like, but I saw you say it yesterday. Like, they only saw me say it yesterday, but I said it 7 years ago. So I have to defend ideas that I don't have anymore. Mm-hmm. And that gets kind of tiresome.
Yeah.
It is. People, I feel like at some point don't understand that people change and grow and
I don't think a lot of people
learn
do.
more. Yeah, maybe not. What?
Spell genius.
Oh.
Just on the keyboard.
Here you go.
That's how you spell it?
Yeah.
Fuck. Dang.
How were you spelling genius? Genius?
I-O-U?
What? You were spelling it I-O-U?
No, I don't know how to. That's why I asked her to do it.
It's cool.
Genius. Genius.
Well, that's how you spell it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to...
So I asked you guys what you had been doing. You went to Michigan Paracon. You read books.
We took a couple vacations in the past.
Yeah, you seemed to be
small
little
ones.
travel bugs.
Yeah.
Up north a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like up north camping, going out to like nature trails. The worst one was Bald Mountain. It was really, really horrendously full of bugs. The most bugs
not
of
even,
anywhere
not
ever.
even, like,
Ever.
good. Not even good. It wasn't even... It was like, all right, here's a mile of...
You weren't streaming when you went on your vacations, were you?
No.
Was it nice to get away from streaming?
Yes and no.
Yeah. It's nice to like...
Yeah, we've talked about...
Because I like to disconnect a
Yeah,
lot.
to
I mean,
disconnect,
people know I'm
basically.
terrible answering messages. You know that. And
Wait a minute,
responding. Yeah. Everybody knows. I'm getting better at it. I really am trying to get better at it. But it's nice to disconnect.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we need to. Everyone needs to. Like, you need to go out, and even if you don't get that far into nature, like, go out and take your shoes off and stand on the lawn.
Yeah.
Or, like, go walk a nature trail. Like, if you look it up, there's probably one that's at least 5 to 10 minutes from your house that you can go and, like, just get away from
Well, in August,
buildings and cars and.
in August, we were up at the UP twice.
Oh yeah, we went to Marquette.
We went to
Wow.
Marquette before Paracon, and yeah, we went in the deep woods. So you pull your phone. You didn't even pull your phone.
Yeah.
There's nothing up there.
I tell
It's
people a lot of the
fucking
times
great.
too, like sometimes so the thing that I do that gets me in trouble, and one of the reasons I'm bad with responding is one of the things I do is I just put my phone on mute so it doesn't vibrate or make any sounds. It's on, but I just put it on mute, and then like I'll leave it in the kitchen and go watch television. And honestly, if you do it enough, like within a few days, you'll start to forget that you have a phone to look at.
Yeah.
And it's super nice sometimes to be like, oh, I haven't looked at my phone in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Or I
it-
forgot I had a phone for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something to be said about that.
One of the
Yeah.
things I talk about, I don't know if I talked about it, which lecture I talked about it at, but the thing that's really interesting to me is that like our brains haven't integrated our phones into them fully, because the predominant amount of people in the world, in their dreams, they're still talking on corded rotary phones. You rarely ever are talking on your cell phone or using your cell phone in your dream.
I do, but it's fucked up.
Yes.
I can never dial the number right.
Right.
I can't find the person's name.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
It doesn't the tech your brain hasn't fully integrated. Like most people when they're on the phone in a dream are still talking like
Yeah.
on a phone.
Yeah.
And then if you talk to younger people who have grown up in eras of cell phones, their phones don't work right. Like what you were just saying. Like they can't get it to function properly.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like a light switch kind of comparison to like a lucid dream? Like if you know the number you're dialing, you know you're calling, or if you flick a light switch on in your dream, if you know it, like it's a kind of a technique to lucid dream.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you can start to do that, if you recognize it. What happens though is a lot of times is you'll recognize you're performing a task, and your brain will turn on the other part of itself that'll wake you up. And that's usually why you can remember having that dream, because you wake up out of it. Like if you're using your phone and it's not going right and you get frustrated, you will probably wake up in the next moments.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's fucked up. I couldn't use my phone the right
Yeah.
way. And that's why you're remembering it. The ultimate crazy thing in this conversation with dreams, so like a typical dream, I think, when they're recording brainwave patterns of people dreaming, a typical dream lasts anywhere from like 2 to 3.5 seconds.
Oh, the REM will go in and out. Yeah.
Like there's no dream you've ever had that's been more than 3 seconds long.
Which is weird because some of them. Feel
Which is
like
weird
they
because
go on for-
I have dreams where it's like, now I'm in a subway, now I'm at the McDonald's, now we went to Europe, and it's all one dream and it's taking place over a span of this huge length of time. But in my brain, it's like 1, 2, 3, and that's the whole dream. It's gone, done.
But that plays into the fact that like time is something we've created. We've put a stamp on time, and like how time exists, like when you're in a different state of mind or.
And that's what pisses me off about daylight savings time. I mean, let's talk about it. Like, what the fuck is going on with that? Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, the way like your mind and your thoughts travel in the dream state, like that it's that fast, but it feels completely like a different amount of time.
Dude, you dream for like, it seems like you dream for like 10 hours, but like 3 seconds. It's,
Yeah. But like that's the thing. That's the construct of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know that when you're in school, when you're in like high school or middle school or whatever class you were bad in, like that class was 3 hours long. Like even though it was only an hour long, it was 3 hours long. But the class that you were good in, like as soon as you sat down, it was time to go.
Yeah.
Like it flew by.
Yep.
All right, so who's here in chat? Put a 1 in chat if you don't know who John Tenney is, if you've never seen any lectures or haven't seen him on our stream, because you might have to repeat some stories.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, cool.
That's fine.
Cool.
I think
Put a 1 in chat if you don't know who this guy is.
what I was going to say is one other thing that's interesting about the construction of time is that talking to nurses and talking to doctors and some of my friends who are neurobiologists, one of the things that we do know is people who have terminal illnesses will tend to spend a lot of time in nature and by themselves. And in doing so, when they're asked and questioned about it, it's because when no one is around and they're in nature, an hour can last 3 hours. Like when there's no clock around, when you're not holding your phone, when someone's not next to you, when you're simply being in nature, you can stretch out this. When we tell someone they have a short amount of time left, they can make the most out of an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so they walk around and listen to bird songs and don't pay attention to clocks. And they can stretch out that little bit of time they have left.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting
It
that
is.
you can
It is.
manipulate time like that. So then when are we going to figure out what we can do to start going backwards? Like if we can make it stretch out,
Yeah.
then can we snap it back?
In theory, maybe.
I want to.
Right? Oh man. Yeah. Time is weird.
Well, if we got a little break in the sentences. Like me. Good to see you, buddy. John Tenney.
What was that?
No, I'm talking to Like Me in chat.
Oh,
Never heard of him. So weird with it, and I'd see what's up. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
We haven't gotten too weird yet. We're just kind of
Just starting.
we're easing into it.
We're easing into it. Somehow or another, in a conversation that I had last night with this gentleman here, I get hurt, right? That was a conversation we were having.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We were talking about friends who knew each other longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we were splitting up friend groups into people who have known each other longer.
You
I've
And then I
known
was
you
saying, you're
longer.
on my team.
Fair enough.
So I get you
You get
on my
Sin.
team.
I don't like it, but
That were somehow the rules we laid out.
And I guess I get Jess because I know her longer.
Yeah, you get Jess and I
known
get
her
you.
forever.
All right,
Fair
well,
enough.
I'll take her. That's fine. We'll do it. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
She gets a cat. I get all this. Yeah, it's fine.
That's mine.
Wait, you get the cat too?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that.
And so you're on my team and you get the cat.
Yeah.
This is a major win for
Yeah,
me on
mittens.
so many things.
This is bullshit, by the way, guys.
Oh,
Wait, actually, you've known John longer than I have.
I have. Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
You have known John longer than I have.
Yep.
It's okay, man. No worries. She doesn't drink. Good luck hanging out with her. Fuck.
What? That
Whatever.
doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yo, guys, thanks for hanging out.
She doesn't drink, but she's more fun than you.
Fucking,
Sin is for fun.
fucking obviously, way to dig it in, man. Goddamn.
Aw.
Shandrip says, my dad says, hello, Tenney. Just realized I don't know if I ever told Tenney my dad's name. Okay.
Oh, hello. How you doing? Oh, to get back and see all the people that I used to see.
Yeah, it's still weird. It's still weird. Even Paracon, like, me and Sim were masked up. And a lot of people behind their booth, they were cool. But if they went out of their booth, they were masked up. And it was kind of a weird thing. Like, it's still fucking weird. Going to hang out and... You know what I mean?
It's strange times, but I think it made people realize what's more important in their lives, almost. Almost like we're going to go through another renaissance
I
period
hope so.
where art and inspiration and stuff. I hope so, too.
Well, the Renaissance happened right after the plague. You gotta eat some shit for a bit. You know what I mean?
It's one of those things, though, like, right? Like, it seems like half of the people in the world figured out, oh, we need to be nice. And then the other half were like, oh, fuck all these people. Let's blow everything up.
Right.
Like, it completely separated just into camps of, like,
Kind of did.
yeah, like, we're going to have a bunch of people over here who are going to try and be better. And everybody over here who is like, fuck it, we're
gonna be the
animals. We're going to shittiest humans ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the smallest thing happens, they're like, well, I'm fucking,
All I
I'm
care about
proud
is
of that,
myself. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, dude?
It's mind-blowing.
It kind of is.
I mean, I knew growing up in the 80s, I was talking about this on a podcast earlier. Growing up I think that this is a combination of entire generations being brought up with the power of positive thinking and an era of like, you're the best, you're the greatest, you're the best, you're the greatest, make your life the most. And then the internet came around and then people had all of this like nonsense information and they were like, well, I'm the best and now I have all the information, and they didn't know how to process it.
Yeah.
And then they forgot there were other people on the planet with them. And they were like, oh, who are these other people?
They all need like what I would call this is gonna bring up stupid people too, but like actual astronauts before this whole bullshit with like Jeff Bezos and William Shatner going to space, but like actual
Shatner
astronauts.
should go to space, by the way.
Their perspective of once they went up to space and looked down and really realized we're all sharing one planet. What affects one person in this country affects everyone all around the fucking world. And people don't see it and they don't realize it. Oh, that's happening over there. It's not going to happen over here. But it can, and we're all connected. Like, people don't understand that or even see it.
Yeah, but now you got to send William Shatner into space because he was on a TV show one time.
Because he's a rocket man.
Because he was
Dude.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah. But
Listen, I love Star Trek.
James Tiberius.
I love Star Trek. I love it. I'm actually trying to fill I have a Star Trek hole in my knowledge base, which is I never watched the show Enterprise when it was on.
Okay.
Which was the Scott Bakula Star Trek.
Okay.
I'm watching that now.
Which one was that?
There's so many.
So it went Star Trek, the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise.
So Bakula is Enterprise.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then there were no shows for 10 years, and then they did Discovery.
Okay.
Which is like the new whatever.
I never saw
CBS,
any
whatever.
Of the Discovery.
But here's the thing. I love Star Trek. I love the original series. I love Captain Kirk. I love all that science fiction space opera nonsense. Why are we sending William Shatner into space? Aren't there 100 or 200 kids that we could feed with that money?
Oh yeah.
No. He can
something, please.
Why are we sending anybody to space? They can afford it, and we have the technology. It's not even space. It's not even outer atmosphere.
But I mean, like, what I would want. I know that he's William Shatner, and I know he's not Captain Kirk, but what I want William Shatner as Captain Kirk to do, because Captain Kirk never killed his wife like William Shatner did, which no one ever talks about. You guys remember when William Shatner killed his wife?
No.
Why does nobody talk about William Shatner killing his wife?
Please go on and tell me about
William
it.
Shatner's wife mysteriously drowned in their pool one night.
I know this story.
And he was the only one there. Like,
shut up, Kyle. You know this story.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's like he pretty much got away with killing his wife. Anyway, his first wife. Anyway, I know he's not Captain Kirk. Look it up. You've got the whole of the internet
That's
in
true.
your hands.
That's
Look
true.
up William Shatner killing his wife.
Oh my god.
If William Shatner had any Captain Kirk in him, when they said, "Do you want to go to space?" he would say, like, "This money could be used to do something better."
Yeah.
This money.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
This money.
Yeah.
Because
Do something better.
Rocket Man. Oh, I can't get that out of my head. Like, did you ever hear his spoken word of that song?
Yeah.
I can't do Shatner.
I can't do any imitations.
You're getting
so.
cross with Christopher Walken in your brain.
Every time
I
I try to do Shatner, it's Walken. Every time I do Walken, it's Shatner.
Have you ever heard Leonard Nimoy's album? Leonard Nimoy sings the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
What?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Leonard Nimoy with, "If I had a hammer, I would hammer in the morning. I would hammer in the evening. I'd hammer all over this land." Oh, it's crazy nonsense.
I had no idea.
They all put out albums because it was Star Trek and they were famous.
Well, I guess good for them.
How much do you know about Star Trek, the original series?
Not a whole lot.
Can I talk about Star Trek? Because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
You know what? Guess what?
You know who
talk about whatever
You
you
know
want.
talk about
You know
whatever.
who Chekhov is on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russian guy.
Yeah. Do you know that he was put on there because the Beatles were a big hit, and so they wanted to have like a young guy with a mop top haircut on the show so that young girls would watch.
And they picked that guy to play Anton Chekhov.
But if you watch, like, he's got like, and then there was one season where his hair got cut, and they have a Beatles wig on him for the entire season.
Oh my goodness.
Come on,
And it's one of those wigs where literally it's a 60s wig, so it's just like on top of his head, and it's 4 inches too big, and it looks like he's wearing a helmet. It's pretty great.
Come on,
Good
man.
times.
Well, it's like saying like the original Michael Myers mask is William Shatner.
William Shatner mask.
Painted white with his hair kind of, yeah. Which is why there was a Captain Kirk mask for Halloween. That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, people hated that show when it first came out. It almost got canceled like 4 or 5 times.
People hated Star Wars when it first came out too.
True.
But they didn't hate it, just not a good box office
The
hit.
first episode of Star Trek aired. It did so badly that they were like, we're never going to show this show ever again. But Lucy from I Love Lucy, power player in Hollywood at the time.
Yeah.
Star Trek was produced by Desilu Productions, which was Lucy's production company.
No shit.
Yeah, and she went to the network and she was like, "You're going to put this show on the air. It's got women in powerful positions. I want to see women on television in more positions of power." And Star Trek went back on the air.
Really?
Yeah. So go Lucy.
Heck yeah.
And first interracial kiss on television.
No kidding.
Uhura and Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't go
freaking
through. I don't
kidding.
know why.
And then Nichelle Nichols was Uhura, she was gonna quit the show, and she was doing a speech at an NAACP rally, and they said, "Someone here wants to talk to you," and she thought it was just another Star Trek fan, so she went backstage, and she's waiting for the Star Trek fan to come, and then she got super nervous. She told her press person, she's like, "Where's my Star Trek fan? I can't walk in that direction because Martin Luther King Jr. is over there." And they were like, "Oh no, he's the fan that wants to talk to you."
Oh no kidding.
And he came up to her and started talking to her. "I love Star Trek. I love you on Star Trek." And she said, "Well, I'm quitting." And he said, "You can't quit Star Trek." He said, "This is the first time that our people are being shown in positions of importance.
Too important. Yeah.
And you can't leave." And so she stayed.
Wow.
Well,
That's
if
craziness I never knew. That's
Yeah.
If
awesome.
Martin Luther King Jr. told me to do something, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Do it.
Fair enough.
I just like that Martin Luther King Jr. is a nerd watching Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh.
Break.
Yeah, I have a cigarette break.
Yep.
And a drink break.
Because your cocktail's empty.
Drink break. I have to watch how much I drink, though. I can't talk about this on my podcast, but I can talk about it with you guys.
Sure.
I had food poisoning on Saturday.
Oh no.
I've been recovering ever since. It was bad. It was bad, people. Have you had food poisoning? It was
the worst.
bad. It was bad.
You don't have to call it out where or what it was.
Sure.
But
It's food
Coming out of
poisoning. It's
or-
fucking diarrhea blasting out your ass.
No, what, not what it was. Come on, Jeff.
Usually you throw
No,
up
it's
too.
not weird.
So
No,
it's
there's
like
a lot
both.
of puking involved
Where
too.
you think you got it or what you ate.
I think I had, and I might talk about this on the podcast because it's really, it's really, it
If
breaks
you guys-
my heart.
If you guys don't know the podcast,
I think I got a bad Slurpee.
Bad Slurpee.
I
They
bought a
probably
Slurpee and I
never
don't think they
clean
clean
those
the machine.
machines ever.
I don't think they cleaned the machine.
You know
and
they
and I
don't
got
clean
food
those.
poisoning because Jess and I were together that day and we both ate the same things. But when we stopped at 7-Eleven, I got a Slurpee and she didn't. So the only thing I had that day that she didn't have was a Slurpee.
Fuck.
And I even mentioned to her in the car, like, I don't think I like this flavor Slurpee. And I think that was something in my brain was telling me that something was wrong
Don't
with the
finish
Slurpee.
it. Oh.
shooting out both ends in Mach 2.
Yes, for sure. Warp 9.
Oh god.
Make it so.
But, so I have to watch how much I'm drinking,
No, up to you, bud.
but I'm going to have another drink and I want to smoke cigarettes.
Up to you.
Yeah, go for it.
And then I want to play video games.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Can I play video games on the video game Twitch channel that you guys have?
We're here. We have a different scene. We have a different scene for it. So we figured what we would do is let you choose like something old school. Like we have the
Nintendo or
Nintendo
Super
Switch
Nintendo.
and it has Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and like if you go to NES, it's got like, let me log in real quick
Oh,
here.
you're a fucking
There's
liar.
just like a bunch of, I mean, there's like some
Wait,
classic
go to
Mario.
Super Nintendo for a second.
Okay, I gotta wait till it.
Oh, you
does
gotta
the
wait
thing.
until it. Oh, there's a whole
Hit
bunch of
home and hit X.
crap.
Yeah, there's like Donkey Kong,
hit
Double
home and hit
Dragon,
X.
but yeah, we'll go back to Super
Hit X.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Hit X. Alright.
They can't even
Yeah.
see what I'm looking at and going, wow.
We'll put up that screen in a
Last
minute.
time John was over, he was playing Atari Space Invaders, and it was fucking great.
Did I play Space Invaders?
Yeah, you were really
Last time?
good at
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I played.
Dude, you were
I
in
must
the
have been
zone.
drunk.
Well, you were drunk in
But
the zone.
yeah, you can use
Yeah.
this to like go down.
Ah,
and
look at all these crazy Super Nintendo games.
Fuck Pong, buddy. What's up, the Restart? How you doing?
How much does something like this cost?
This is
it $1
free
million?
for your, if you have a Nintendo Switch and you pay the yearly subscription for online,
Which is
all
pretty
these are
cheap.
free.
You
They
can
just-
play all this stuff?
They just give
Yeah.
it to you, yeah.
What?
Which is pretty sweet, right? I also have a fucking emulator, but I can't stream those games because it's not good to do that.
Is it like uncopywritten or something?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't own those titles.
All right. Well, I'm gonna smoke and then I'll look through these
Shandrips
or something.
Pitfall, but Pitfall is Atari.
I love Atari games. You know, my favorite Atari 2600 game is called Beam Rider. You ever played
Beam
that
Rider.
game?
No.
It is the lamest fucking game, but I am an old man and I love it so much.
Fair enough.
You're the kind of guy that will tell me that you beat E.T. for Atari.
Listen, in 1980, it was probably 84, 85, I got the game cartridge Beam Rider for the Atari 2600.
Yeah, okay.
And if you could get 20,000 points on it, Atari sent you a patch that said Beam Rider on it. I don't know how I got that patch. I got one of those Atari 2600 emulators at my house, and it has Beam Rider on it.
Yeah.
I played that thing for a fucking year during quarantine and could get like 15,000 points. And I was like, how did I get 20 when I was a kid? Was I that much faster and smarter, like as a kid? Like, were my eyes that great?
I don't know.
And then, like 3 weeks ago, I don't know what happened. I got in a fucking zone. People who play video games, you know about the zone.
That's
I got in
true.
the zone and I got 70,000 fucking points on
Whoa.
that thing.
Damn. Beam Rider.
Beam Rider.
I'll
All right, I'm gonna go smoke.
I'll have to look up this game.
All right. You want to entertain Chad, or do you want to put the BRB on?
Yeah, but not the intermission one. I would rather have a.
You have like all less cool stuff.
Where's this one?
That's going to be the Monty Python.
Oh,
Intermission.
where's the normal one, or did you get rid of it completely?
You can just go to Spaceship and turn the cam off. I'll mute the mic and everything. We're going to take a break, guys.
BRB.
No, fuck you, Shandrub. You never beat that.
Alright. Boop.
My cat's name is Mittens.
Oh fuck. Alright guys. I think he's looking for a game.
I'm looking for games.
You got. We need to put the
I
right
know.
screen on.
I'm just talking right now. Hold on.
Can you put us
God
on?
damn it.
Tenney, it's right there.
Oh, he's looking for a game now. So it's
Oh,
gonna be
so
that.
we're switch old school. Okay.
Alright. He's looking through some Nintendo games right now.
Are we?
I don't even know these Nintendo games. I am so old.
Donkey Kong.
I know that one. I know Excite Bike.
I used to love Excite Bike. I know it's a boring game.
Oh fuck,
but
you need a cocktail. Thank you guys for hanging out, by the way, guys. Good to see ya.
Can you squeeze past?
I will.
Okay. The ice climber. That's like Santa Claus and some weird giant rat. That's what it looks like. I don't know.
What is that? What was Dr. Mario? Did I miss? I missed so much.
Dr. Mario is kind of like a Tetris thing with pills. We gotta
Yeah.
just like match up colors.
Don't play Ghosts and Goblins. It's like the hardest game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, play that.
Like no, it's
Is it bad?
it's so hard. Not a lot of people have ever beat it. It's insane.
Do you have to beat it?
You don't have to beat it. I mean, you can just play it.
I used to have a friend that played Tecmo Bowl fucking stop. It was
Chris played a little bit the other night.
was not great to be his friend.
Oh.
I've never played Zelda. Is that weird?
A little bit. I don't know. Zelda was like high tech back in the day.
It was.
RPG.
I want to play something I've never played before. Have you ever played Star Soldier?
I haven't played a lot of these games. No.
Uh-oh. Did I already start?
I guess so. I guess it just goes right into it.
Yeah, I guess so. Right? Oh,
Can you shoot?
Oh, I
Yep.
can. I'm
All
shoot.
right.
I'm playing. I'm playing.
It's happening.
Something is happening.
Oh, there's
Uh-oh.
a big face.
Oh, nah, I
Oh,
wasn't
he
supposed
ate-
to touch him, I guess.
That guy ate you.
Oh,
Stage 8 start? Is this
wait.
actual? Okay, maybe I have to hit the plus button, which
Oh.
is
Okay. Wait, no, pause.
okay.
I am playing.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. These games are old.
Oh.
This looks hard.
Why is it starting at stage? Did it save someone's game? Is that
I
why?
don't think we've ever played it.
Were you playing this game?
Is this one new?
I don't even know. There's a lot of stuff flying.
There's a
at you.
lot of stuff going. I think that people forget that these old games were super difficult.
So hard,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh my god. Yeah. Video games were a lot harder.
Look at that! Like, how am I even supposed to know they're coming out of the bottom like that?
Yeah, and you had
Faster
a
than
limited
this,
amount
yeah.
of lives,
Yeah.
so you didn't have just like you couldn't just.
Look at these things. Like, how am I supposed to know?
I don't know. I guess you.
Ow!
You know how people knew they played it over and over and over
And then
over
memorize the
because
patterns?
When you had a video game, you didn't get a ton at once. You got one, and that was
Ooh.
the game you got for quite a while, at least in my experience.
That's a good question. And Scorpion, he wants to ask, John, what are some good demonology books? The Michelle Ballinger one is the best, right?
Yeah,
dictionary.
Yeah, she's got the Dictionary of Demonology is a great book.
We got the special edition now.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. You know, it's weird for demonology. I would probably. I mean, are you interested in demons? I guess that's the question. Are you interested in demons, or are you interested in the idea of demons? Because that's a kind of different thing. So I guess that's my first question: is are you interested in demons or the idea of demons?
Yeah.
If you want to go back to
Let's start.
Oh,
I mean,
start?
also,
I want to try again.
Okay, this plus button.
All right.
Oh, you're at stage
Yeah.
1 now.
Oh.
Maybe this'll be
maybe
not
this'll
as-
be not as bad.
Marley, that hardcover one, so hot. But you gotta also define a demon, really. I mean,
Well, that's
people-
that's kind of
yeah.
what I mean, because
Yeah.
like if you're interested in the idea of demons, then I would suggest that you read Demonic Reality by Patrick Harper,
that's
which
such
I
a
think
good
is
book.
a really good book for that type of thing.
I can actually do this. I can do this right now because you're on there.
I think I'm doing something. Am
You
I doing
are.
something?
Yeah, you're doing
What's
good.
it called again?
Demonic Reality by
But it's-
Patrick Harper.
But it's DAIMONIC.
Yeah. Which I think is a great book.
That one.
Which
Yeah,
which
we have that.
is looking at the ideas of like the daemon in the sense of your muse or your consciousness, the thing that kind of haunts you.
All right, here's an Amazon link for you guys.
But I think that's a really good book. And then demons. You know, you guys know this. I talk.
A Field Guide to the Other World. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
the
it.
Patrick Harper one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. There's a link for you guys.
But it's weird because you guys have heard me talk like over 30 years of investigating paranormal phenomena. Like I don't think, I mean, maybe 2 times I've thought something might be a demon. Why are these fucking games so hard?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try 'em one more time. I just think that things are misunderstood.
Yeah, that one.
You know, we have difficulty talking to human beings who are sitting next to us, much less invisible entities. Like you can get in a fight with someone sitting, oh my God, sitting across from you at the bar.
Yep.
This game could be a demon.
Could be. We don't know.
Jeez. I got to get into a mode.
Pixel demon.
Oh, thrift books? Yeah. Shandor.
Thrift
Yeah.
books is the way to go.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of good books. at
I
thrift
always
books. Oh,
default.
my
Also-
God.
I always default to the Amazon link
Also-
just because. Yeah.
Patrick Harper wrote Passport to Magonia,
No shit.
right?
No.
No,
that
damn
was,
it.
That was
No.
Jacques Vallée.
Who?
Jacques Vallée.
What's
yeah,
his
yeah.
other book that you recommended to me that was Patrick Harper?
The good.
Mercurius?
Oh, Mercurius.
Mercurius.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
That's a great book. Oh my God. What is wrong with me playing this game?
Moon
One more
Wishes.
time. One more time.
Moon Wishes is disappointed
One more time. I don't know what I'm doing with this game. Why is this game so hard?
because it's
They're
made
all
for like
hard.
a 10-year-old back in 1980.
But I mean, like in new games, right? Like there's this kind of like you can set a game for like unlimited
Easy.
dying, right?
Easy mode. You
I
can
don't
set
know-
it
I
to
don't have a
easy
game
mode.
Oh!
There's no Game Genie for this shit.
Oh.
But like when you're playing like some kind of crazy shoot 'em up Red Dead Redemption, like how many times can your character get shot before he dies?
Quite
Couple.
a few.
Yeah. Oh,
You get
look at
one.
that! Like I got shot once, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead.
These games were
Gabe or Tenney.
way harder.
And then sometimes in new games, like you can get shot and then someone can come over and heal you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Lame.
Should we switch our chat to retro or?
No, we can leave it talk show.
What's
That's
that mean?
fine.
There's
Well,
different
the
categories
Twitch
to put your.
categories,
I don't think
yeah.
it matters because we're still talking about stuff.
And
this is just
P.S. I don't really give a shit either.
background.
so.
Oh man.
He's gonna rage quit. Don't throw the controller.
I'm trying to get that. Oh, I missed that fucking thing. I need that thing. There we go.
All
That's
right.
some kind of power up. I'm getting the hang of this now, people.
Here's the next thing we're
Repetition,
Look out.
right?
Huh?
Here's the next thing we're beginning into here.
I brought waxy juicies, y'all.
Waxy Juices.
Look
y'all.
out.
Waxy juicies. Oh man,
Oh man, I'm getting.
that swirly thing's a
I
demon.
know. I think I'm getting some kind of hang of this.
Oh, you shoot the green things like the.
Oh, that was the closest I got. All right, new game,
So if it gives you a new game,
Home.
yep.
right?
Waxy
Yeah,
Juicy,
and then
baby.
if you want to stay with Nintendo, oh,
Oh, wait.
how does he get out of this?
just hit
I hit minus. That's why.
home. Hit home and
I hit home, and then I hit home again. No.
No.
Oh, I'm playing again. Look out. Here we go. This is how video games work. This is how they worked back in my day. Yo.
got him.
Got him. Got him. Got him.
Got him.
Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him.
Miss him. Got him.
What
I
else?
thought you were gonna crash into those. but
I
that's
totally
just-
did
yeah.
too, but you could just drive through them. Apparently,
I've never played this game in my life,
I had never heard of it
I don't know
before
what to tell
today.
ya.
To be honest.
Oh! Oh! You motherfucker.
It's coming.
What game do you guys play the most on your Twitch channel? Or do you like...
We're so all over the place.
We're pretty much variety casters.
I played-
We're all over the map.
I was doing a second playthrough of Skyrim, and I got about 220 hours in it, and I stopped playing it because I got a little burnt out and started playing a bunch of indie games. But we're playing currently Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6 is great, dude.
It's like, it's got the guy, I don't know if you saw The Mandalorian.
I actually haven't seen The
Or
Mandalorian.
Breaking Bad.
It's got the bad guy from The Mandalorian
And Breaking
Bad in it.
Uh,
I don't remember his
When you
actual
say the
name.
bad guy
One-
from Breaking Bad,
Juan Carlo.
Juan
Whoever played Gus Fring. Yeah.
I don't remember his actual name. If anyone knows his
He's-
actual name.
He's actually good at video games. You would never know it.
Those are like flying blueberry flies. I don't even know.
Oh shit. The music changed. This is a boss fight.
is it?
I think so. That looks like a boss
Yeah.
or something.
He doesn't have headphones in.
Like
he
it
can't
doesn't
hear
even
nothing.
look like you're hitting it. Oh, you
Oh, I
did it.
got him. I got that shit. Yo, shit's happening.
give you,
I'm going
like-
to die soon. There you go.
That should at least
Called
given you
that
like
motherfucking shit off the...
should at least given you a shield or something when you beat the big face.
Wait, did you start over from fucking scratch?
I don't. I guess so. That's how video
God,
games were then.
I love it so much.
It's kind of the worst.
It's kind of the worst and kind of the best too.
But it's such a
'Cause it-
challenge.
It makes you fucking so mad. So mad!
So
So
mad.
mad!
Yep.
Give me a waxy juicy.
Boom.
Here, let me escape you from this game. Alright, home.
You
screen.
Waxy
took a red-
juicies, everybody.
Of
What?
course he took the red one.
You want a red one?
No, I took the orange one.
You gotta bite the top off.
I know, yeah.
These are super gross, I think.
Oh, they're super gross. Like, how old are these? So bite the
New.
top off and suck the juice.
There we go.
Suck the juice out. Suck the juice.
I'm so waxy.
It
Squeeze them with
tastes
your
like
finger.
a-
Squeeze them with
Oh.
your finger.
It tastes like a fucking unfrozen icy
And then
pop.
just jam this dirty fingers have been touching it. Just jam the whole thing in your mouth. This is so unappealing.
Why do people like this?
Kids
Why do
like
they
it
still
because
make
it's
it?
sugar water.
Listen, Marley, Tenney is eating the wax. He's gonna chew it up and swallow it. I did not eat the wax.
I'm not swallowing the wax.
Oh, I thought you said swallow it.
No, don't swallow it. You
Whoops,
just chew
I'm
it.
sorry.
It's like gum. You don't swallow the, well, you're not supposed
I
to swallow
swallowed
your
gum.
gum.
Fuck it. It's okay. It reminds me of like
That
you
last
know,
video game made me fucking sweat.
None of these are mellow. They're
No.
all like horrible.
Look,
Doesn't that look like Mel Gibson and Shannon Doherty?
it looks like
yeah,
Or like
it's
Patrick
gross.
it
Swayze and
looks like somebody. It looks like
good.
Patrick
Yeah.
Swayze and Val Kilmer had a baby,
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Skinny Bell.
and then I don't know who that demon woman is,
Shannon Doherty.
but she got eyes from that television show V. You remember V?
With Robert Englund, the
Mhm.
original?
The
Absolutely.
reptilians.
Oh.
They ate guinea pigs and
Not the
stuff.
not the
Big
remake,
guinea
but the
pigs.
original.
Did they remake V?
Oh yeah, there's a whole new.
Wasn't there a movie?
They did.
Yeah, they did.
I remember there being a movie. Well,
The
these
original
are
V was
very gross.
fucking Robert Englund that played Freddy Krueger was in the original V. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, look at this. This is by Sammy. So you know it's quality right now.
Nice. Yeah.
Voice.
Look at the coloration on the fontage.
Mhm.
I don't even know. Oh man,
Oh shit.
it's very dark.
Tenny, be careful with the sugar water after your food poisoning. Well, I'll
Yeah,
tell
the
him.
wax will absorb it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he swallowed the wax.
No,
There. Oh, you know there is a.
Stop it! You're.
it's so gross.
Put
no,
him- come
no,
on.
no,
I'm your first grade teacher.
no.
Put it in
I'm
my
gonna
hand.
put it here in this. Hold on. I'm missing all of this setup. I'm not gonna know how to play
Yeah, yeah. You got
It's
no frame of
okay.
reference.
all of this important information.
No frame of reference for you
It
right
is
now.
very-
I bet you if I press a button, it just goes away.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know.
So on this controller, basically you're using the A and B. Forget the X and Y. The A and B. That's what you're using. The left two, yeah.
Starting button.
Uh oh, here we go. Oh, look at this. More information. Maniac loose in the area.
Uh oh.
Take him down.
Take him down nice and
buddy.
easy, buddy.
Dude, don't be a dick.
I got him.
So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
seeing Tenney and Kindred Spirits with Chip, and then see him on here playing Nintendo games. Listen.
What? What did you say?
No, and Scorpion said, so weird seeing Tenney on Kindred Spirits with Chip, and then seeing him on here playing Nintendo games.
Oh, this is like that Spy Hunter game.
Oh, it's really fast.
So far, so good. No, and Scorpion, it's so
Why
weird.
is it so fast?
It's so weird knowing John for a while and then see him on TV. That's even weirder.
What am I doing?
I don't know.
Thank you for the
Why is
vote.
This is the original Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I think so. Why does your car have laser beams shooting out of it?
Because I'm a spy. I'm Mel
Oh.
Gibson's son. Oh, I'm crashing out. Look out.
Whoa.
Look out, yo.
Those plants want to eat you. They
I
are.
think
I'm Val Kilmer, Mel Gibson, baby.
Is there something I should be watching, like gas or like mileage
No,
or?
you're good. No,
Just-
I
I think
don't
you
know.
want
You're-
the coins,
you're
but I don't
good.
know.
You're good? Question mark?
I can
Just run into every one of those.
I'm trying to
yeah.
just run on every. Oh, spin out! Look out! Oh,
At least you have more than. This is a boss. This has got to be a boss.
that's got to be a boss.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on now.
That's not even fair.
How's he got rockets?
I don't
Anybody
know.
see the new James Bond movie? Should I give spoilers for that?
I have not.
I don't
and
even
I
think
don't
it's is it
care.
even out yet?
Is
I
it
don't
Daniel?
know.
Is it Daniel Craig again?
Yeah, it's his last Bond film.
Yeah.
I do like him.
Mileage? Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
Did
mind
I beat the
spoilers,
boss? I beat the boss.
You did. I'll never see that movie. Do people care?
Does anybody care about spoilers for James Bond? I'm asking everybody in the chat.
Yeah, please let us know if you do.
Let us know. I'm about to bust it. You ready? I'll give people a chance to say they don't want to hear. Oh, look at this! Now it
Oh.
becomes a side scroller and shit.
What? What is that guy?
Oh, I'm killing dudes with mohawks.
This game's got it all, dude. This game's got it all.
Got nice city skyline behind
Oh,
you.
fuck that bug.
Look at that guy.
Spill the beans, spoil away. We got two people.
Oh shit! I just died, just like James Bond at the end of that movie.
No, he never jumped down like a.
That's the spoiler.
He just never jumped down. Oh, okay, so Daniel Craig just jumps down like a weird crack.
No, they blow him up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he's dead. They killed James Bond in the end of this movie. That's the spoiler.
that's unfortunate.
That's a big spoiler.
I mean, I'll never see it.
That's a
so-
big spoiler, though.
Yeah, that is
Do
pretty
you
huge.
kill fucking James Bond?
Yeah, he did.
That's a big fucking deal.
He gone. He gone.
So then
Like
it-
30 fucking James Bond movies, and they're just gonna blow this motherfucker up at the end of this one?
Well,
You heard it here.
Okay.
Is that a
Yeah.
fucking hopping vampire? I bet you that's a hopping vampire. You guys know hopping vampires?
is
No,
that a real
tell me.
thing?
Yeah, so in China. Oh, I want to see more of the hopping vampires. So in China, vampires, because of rigor mortis, they can't move their bodies, and they were laid in coffins so their bodies are straight.
Yeah.
But their arms pop out, right? And then since vampires are evil and the earth is good, the earth repels them, but gravity pulls them down.
Oh my God,
So
so
the
they-
only way that Chinese vampires can move is they hop. So they're called Chinese hopping vampires. Look it up, people. Chinese hopping vampires. Watch the series of film called Mr. Vampire. Fucking fantastic. It's about a guy who fights hopping vampires. Kung Fu style Chinese hopping vampires. Best thing that you'll ever see.
That's amazing. Hopping
All right.
I'm gonna try this again.
vampires.
Hold on.
All right.
I just
Sounds-
heard
it
that
sounds
in
lit.
Arizona,
John
Bigfoot is
just
called the
filled us with shit,
Mongolian
dude.
monster.
Huh?
Kyle. Yeah.
Have you heard of?
That is a Chinese hopping vampire for sure.
Hey, John,
Yes.
when are you doing your seance with Kyle Paranormal?
Saturday.
Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna give him another shout out here. Kyle Paranormal will be doing a Twitch stream with John and Jess doing a live seance. Please go follow him and check that
Oh!
out.
I
Check
pressed
that
the wrong
shit
button.
out, man.
That's okay.
Hell yeah.
Fall down the hole.
I can't believe you haven't seen Chinese hopping vampires.
No.
Mr. Vampire was one of my favorite kung fu movies when I was growing up. It was so crazy. And then you can take a prayer, and then you can stick it on their forehead, and it'll stop them from hopping. So that's how you like defeat. Or if someone gets bitten by a
Get the
vampire,
fuck out of here.
if you want them to not become a vampire, you cover like a bed with sticky white rice and have the person jump on the bed, and all the evil will come out of them and out of their feet and then stick into the rice.
Just like when your cell phone falls into water, you put it
You put it in rice.
rice.
Demons, man.
Oh my god, man. There might be something to it. Maybe that's where they got the idea
It's
for cell
also-
phones.
yeah.
Maybe.
It's also here to
You
fix the
never know.
phone, bud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seance Saturday. Should be
Aw.
good, man. I don't work Saturday, so I'll tune in for sure, guys. I will tune in for sure.
Oh shit. What am I doing here?
I don't know. Oh, some of the ground is falling away.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh. Stick 'em in rice, dude.
jumping up and down on rice to keep the evil out of you. What are you guys watching for Halloween? Anything?
I don't know. It might be time to.
I don't know.
You got any suggestions for people? All right, how do I get out of this?
The scariest movies I've ever seen. I'll give you my top 2.
Scariest movies ever in your life, ever.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
Top
give my top
10.
two.
Top 10. 2 scariest movies he's
I'll
ever
give you
seen.
my
in his
top
life.
2.
Fire in the sky.
Hold on. Number
Fire
1.
in the sky.
Number 1 is Fire in the Sky.
God, that movie scarred me for life.
Number 2, Old Boy.
I don't know.
No. I don't know. It's not scary, jump scare, less suspense, but the way that movie plays out.
God,
Freak the
these games
fuck
are
out.
making me sweat.
Do you want to do a
Freak
Super
the
Nintendo
fuck outta me,
or
dude.
just stick with Nintendo? If you want
Oh,
Super.
let's go Super Nintendo
Yeah,
here.
then hit A.
All right.
Oh, speaking of Fire in the Sky, John,
Okay,
if you want
yeah,
something to talk about,
Yeah.
talk to us about Travis Walton.
Travis is a good guy, but here Travis's case is one of those things where every like 5 or 6 years, someone's like, he was faking it, I was there, he was faking it. And then you got to go round and round for like a year. And that happened this year where someone was like, Travis is faking it, I was there, this is what we did. And then someone came back and said like, but on this date and this date, you were in this place. And the guy's like, okay, I was lying. And then it goes around again. So
Did you see the new documentary about it?
I didn't.
Where
I
they're
don't
all
either.
back together, old people, like they kind of got
That
together,
snowflake in Arizona where he got, yeah.
They're all back together, like, hey,
Oh, I
figured,
haven't seen that.
like,
I'd like to see that. I'd like
Yeah.
to watch that for Halloween.
I mean, the thing is with Travis, again, and here's the thing,
It's
and
a
I talk
new
about
one.
this a lot at my lectures. I don't know if Travis's story is real or not. I don't know whose story is real and whose story isn't.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, it ceases to matter if their story is real. Because their story has become so ingrained in, like, the archetypes of our thinking. Like, whether or not, I mean, Travis will tell you this, like, the abduction part of the movie Fire in the Sky is not at all like what he says he
That's
experienced.
No
good
shit.
because that was horrifying.
But that part of that movie is ingrained in people now to think like you're going to get needles in your eyeballs.
Oh god, that
and
part was seriously the scary. That was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and the fact that it was supposed to be a true story made
Right.
it even worse.
Supposed to be a true story? Come on, man.
That it is a true story.
based on a true
Based
story.
on a
man
true
was
story.
that man
Based
was
on a
gone
true-
for 5
But
days.
even that,
all
like,
his
even in-
friends, all his friends were facing murder charges.
But see, that's the thing
He
too.
showed up
Like
5 days later.
that's another way of how movies like influence our reality, because based on a true story used to mean it was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Now, like in this era, based on a true story, like
Is loose
is
terms.
loose
Well,
terms.
Look, The Conjuring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Conjuring films, like they can say that, you know, Annabelle 3 is based on a true story because the original story it's based on is from a case file written by Ed and Lorraine Warren, And who knows if Ed and Lorraine Warren's story was true, but they wrote it in a book, so it's based on the story that Ed and Lorraine told. So, I mean, based on a true story is just kind of nonsensy.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me a good, weird story and get my imagination going. A lot of the times, I don't even really care if it's true, if it helps spark creative processes in my brain.
John, you know how stupid the fucking the producers in Hollywood and like the TV shows are. You know how stupid those are, dude.
Yeah.
So,
But we want
John
a monster.
John was
Can
trying
there be a
to.
monster in it?
Can there be a monster?
Yeah, well,
Put a monster in
I'll
it.
let you tell the story, but John was trying to make a show, and did we not film like a teaser trailer? Not we,
yeah.
but-
I should have brought that over.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll bring it over next time.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I was gonna be famous, guys. No, just kidding. But no. When he put it to the execs, they're like, "Where's the monster? Where's the demon? Where's that?" He's like, "Well, oh, that's not.
Yeah,
it.
there's no monster in this.
There's no monster, yo."
Does this actually let me put my whole name? Oh, well, I'll be T4.
Well, that's fine.
That's fine.
T4, dude. Yeah, hell yeah.
And then I want to go to. Got it.
I was gonna say just tap
You
it
can
if it's
Punch Out,
spam.
dude.
Yeah.
It's not like the original Punch Out though. It's like Super
not?
Nintendo.
It's
No,
different.
Mike Tyson lost of licensing and
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I can imagine that.
I've never even seen this one.
I don't think I have either. This looks.
Thank you, Marley.
This looks
Way-
super
uh-oh.
weird.
Wait, I gotta remember.
I don't know.
What am I doing here?
I don't
Oh,
know.
got him.
Probably
Got
AB.
So, quick question, John. While
Yeah.
you're fighting, what do you think of Malignant?
I thought *Malignant* was great. I think that James Wan pulled off like a super crazy Hollywood stunt, which was, I'm James Wan, I make the Conjuring films, I'm going to make this beautiful looking film, it's going to be really scary. And then they were like, do whatever you want, you're James Wan. And then like he turned it into a schlock Roger Corman like insane fest. Did you guys see it?
No.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I've heard good things though.
Okay, spoilers for *Malignant*.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
care.
go.
Everybody ready for spoilers for *Malignant*? And I just knocked that motherfucker out!
Woo!
Thank you. What was that? Is
Air
that
horn.
Air horn.
Okay. So in *Malignant*, here's the basic plot of *Malignant*
Yeah.
is
Close your ears if you don't want to hear, guys.
Close your ears.
You're getting
Spoilers.
Shit kicked in right now, man.
So there's someone killing people, and you think like it might be like the woman's like sibling, or I just got knocked out. Long story short, when she was born, she had a twin, and they cut the twin's body out of her, but then stuffed the twin's brain back inside of her.
Oh my goodness.
And the twin's face comes out of the back of her head and turns her body around and kills people.
Like a
Oh.
malignant tumor.
Yeah.
That's the okay.
Yeah, but then you like the back of her head splits open and there's a face, and then she runs backwards and does karate backwards and kills people. It's madness, and it's so hysterically strange.
I gotta pee. You had me at karate backwards.
Look at this. Look at this. This guy's going down. Going down. Going down.
Oh, yeah.
Going down.
Dude,
Body
fuck him up,
blow.
dude. Fuck
Body
him
blow.
up.
Body blow. Body blow. Up top. I'm
Don't
going up
take no
top.
shit.
Watch this. Boom. Booyah. Bomb. No. Body blow. No, come on. Body blow. Down low. There you go.
Oh, you got him.
Got him.
Oh
He's
yeah.
been talking shit about
He
you all
needs
night,
a
bud.
he needs a nap. Time for a nap.
Do you sweat when you play video games, or is it just because I'm 50 years old?
No, if they're stressful ones, yeah. So I like to try to play a mix of some that are like high stress and some that are just very chill.
Are there people who just play like real long RPGs with lots of text?
Sometimes
Like, is that a thing, or do people only want to watch like action games?
people are all over the place. People want to watch all kinds of stuff, so it really depends. There's obviously a lot of people that want to watch like action shooters,
Right.
or battle royales, or retro games. There's a whole like category for retro gaming. It's kind of all over the place. The big game right now is New World. That's a MMORPG that everyone's going crazy for right now.
What is it called?
It's called New World. It's basically, do you know, like, I guess, do you know what World of Warcraft is?
Yes.
We
Yeah.
try not to talk about World of Warcraft because of their business practices, but it's a game
Are
like
they a
that.
bad? Are they a bad business?
They are just not.
Oh, I think I
good
heard some problematic
They're
stuff
not
about
good.
them.
people. They got a lot of issues they got to sort out, but it's a game kind of in that theme of game, or like you can be. I don't know what I haven't played it, so there's different classes that you can be, and there's crafting, and there's PvP, which is player versus player, and PvE, player versus environment. I
Right.
don't know if I don't know if you know these terms.
I know some of them.
Okay. But yeah, like I guess if you imagine if Dungeons and Dragons was kind of a game, it's in that kind of theme, but more actiony and more like.
I don't think there's ever been a good Dungeons and Dragons video game. Now that you say that.
Not that I can think of. There's like the old school Nintendo. Well, and then they had Neverwinter. That was a Dungeons and Dragons game that we got and never played. We actually used to do D&D on stream. And we're supposed to possibly do a one-off with Sippy Tango, but I'm lazy and I haven't made my character yet, and we haven't talked about it with him again, so...
He's busy in New World, by the way.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of New World, and he does have another D&D group. But that might eventually
Did you guys
happen.
play D? You played D&D online? Or
Yeah, we have, we had a group and we had a GM, and we used to do it every Sunday.
I mean, it's it's all about the DM, dude.
Yeah,
It's all about the DM.
for sure. But I mean, you have to get like. I was just talking to a friend of mine about when I used to DM games and stuff like that, and you do have to have like decent players too, because my friends would always try and fuck up my game. Like they would know if I was DMing, they would know that. Like I was gonna try and pull some shit on them. What?
You can do ass whips.
I know. I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons. That's why.
It's okay.
Can
It's
you
okay.
pause these games? I don't know.
I don't think you can.
No worries.
You know, I hit the home button, but that'll take you out of the game.
But then, like my friends would. Oh, hold on. I got it. I got it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Let me
Sorry.
figure it out.
Sorry.
No, that's wrong. Here,
Okay.
I didn't figure it out.
Are we closing the software?
You close it and open it again. Do you want Super Nintendo or Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Yeah.
But all my friends would end up like they'd be such like fucking around that they'd all die in the tavern before the game even began.
Right.
Like they'd be like,
Right.
I'm gonna go up to that guy in the bar and fuck with him, and I'm like, you don't why? And then as a DM, I'll be like, don't do this. Like he's gonna fuck you up, and they're gonna be like, nope, and I'm like, yeah, and then they'd get fucked up and die and have to re-roll their whole character and start again.
Yeah.
Like there'd be like 9 deaths before the game even started.
That's
When
not
we played
fun.
D&D
I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's not.
It's kind of fun, but
Yeah.
Like-
When we did D&D online, I was drinking a lot, but I would do something stupid, but my rolls were always fucking great.
I remember I was in trouble. My
I got
character,
away with everything. Oh, City Connection? Here we go.
I was in
God
trouble,
damn it.
and my character needed help, and fucking Murder Mod decided to sit down and eat a sandwich
Yeah.
instead of helping me.
Yeah.
And then his brother pushed him in the river or
Yep.
something. I
Yep.
don't know.
Yep.
Instead of like helping out with any of the fights. I'm just gonna sit and eat a sandwich.
Even our first campaign,
what am I doing
It
here?
was
I
funny.
don't know,
game.
bud.
No
Does
idea.
anybody know what I'm doing in
You
my
don't
game?
know
are a
this
cop
game.
car?
No,
Question mark?
I'm a cop. I'm this car trying to get away
Oh.
from shit.
What is happening?
I have no fucking idea what this game is.
I don't really understand if. What are
I guess
those
you want
pellets?
those cubes.
Oh, you hit a
I,
cat.
oh, I don't like this game.
You hit a cat, bud.
Oh.
What? I don't like this
Mittens,
game at
no.
all. I just ran over a cat.
Don't tell Mittens.
Oh, I can shoot. That's a new aspect of this game.
Okay.
Well,
You can shoot
shoot,
pellets.
shoot the cops. Yeah, get them out of here. Fuck you, pig.
Oh, but if the cops land on you, you die.
If
Look at
there's-
how awesome that Statue of Liberty looks in the background. The rendering of that
Yeah,
Statue of
it's pretty,
Liberty.
yeah, it's
Pretty
high
good.
I know,
quality.
Marley,
What
what
is
the
this?
fuck,
City
man?
Connection. Peace.
My cat's name is Mittens.
Do I really have to go? Oh, I'll play this one more time and then let you get this out. This is there sound? I keep forgetting I can't hear the sound.
Yeah, there's headphones right here if you want to
No,
hear
I
it.
don't want to. I don't want to know how terrible this sound is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Look at that! Why that little cat has a flag?
I don't know. He looked very happy too. happy that you didn't run them over this time.
Can I go faster or slower? Like,
Not sure. It looks like
so if I just stay on the top, is that like the key?
Fuck that cop.
Maybe. It seems like less bad things happen up there.
Oh.
But then... Yeah,
Oh.
I don't understand the tracking. Like, it looks like you could fall through it, but then it doesn't.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, okay, so wait, can I turn? I
You
can turn around.
Yeah.
Like you have a...
Oh wait, do I want to go back to that cat?
No!
Do I get points for that cat?
I don't know.
No, it
ends your
game over.
It ends
Okay, wait, one more
everything.
time because we got to figure out what's going on in this game.
I don't even think this game knows what's going on in this game.
What if I just do this? Okay, let's start by just doing this.
Just don't hit anywhere cats.
Wait, I'm just not going anywhere.
Discovery.
Oh, see, it's gonna generate cops.
Oh, you can go the other way?
Yeah.
But you can also shoot cops if you get enough of those cubes. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like you can only shoot... Wait, it doesn't say how many you have, though, does it? Oh, is that oil?
I don't.
I don't even...
Oh.
Oh, I keep wanting to pick up the cat and take him home.
The cat, guys. Come on.
All right, so up, can, up.
Oh, it does say how much oil you have. Now you have 0. But each time you pick it up, the oil's at the top right of the screen.
So if
So
you guys,
it's not unlimited.
I'm gonna interrupt really quick and say to chat, if you guys want to support John Tenney, go ahead and fucking hit that donate button. We'll give all the money that you donate. We'll give
Or
it right to
they can
him.
go to the
Or they go
actual
to John's.
podcast page.
Yep.
Go to the
We'll
What's Up Weirdo website
Support
and
his
you
Patreon.
can find their
Him and Jessica doing
Patreon.
good things,
I don't know
man.
what.
Like, however you guys want to do it.
Is that where there's a link to your Patreon on the What's Up Weirdo website? Right?
I don't think so.
Are you serious? Are you
I'm super
serious?
bad. There's a link to Patreon in all of the episode descriptions on the podcast.
Yeah.
Or if people go to my profile page on Twitter, there's like a link bar. What do you call those things? Where you can click
Like-
it and then it
Yeah.
takes you.
Yeah. Follow
Okay,
on
there's
Twitter,
his
guys.
Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a pinned tweet that you have all your stuff.
It's in the profile.
It's in the
links.
profile,
I'm a
okay.
terrible.
It's like- it's
I'm
like
a 50-year-old man. I'm not supposed to be on Twitter.
Oh, fair
Basically,
enough.
weird lectures, links, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Just do that.
Oil
and
can.
Figure it out.
I'm supposed to. I'm,
This game is... I don't understand. Like,
I'm pressing every button and it's not doing anything. I feel like I'm just watching the screen to where I'm supposed to start it.
we can... Yeah,
My
we can,
hands are so sweaty.
we can
Dude,
just
you wanna-
talk about
you want
stuff
towel
and
or
things
something?
now.
I got one. Hold
Have a
on.
sip,
Wait, I'm an old man. Do you think I don't have a fucking handkerchief in my pocket like a 50-year-old
Ooh.
gentleman supposed to?
I got one in my back pocket. Have a sip, bud.
Oh, I'm going to. Hold on. Oh! Oh, I got the vapors.
The vapors.
I got the vapors.
The vapors.
My Uber driver had me so fucking stressed out on the way here.
Dude, he pulled
I'm gonna
His-
go back to the Tenney screen.
Do you know that workout place in the same
I'm gonna
plaza
put us
as
back in
France?
the Black
babe?
Lodge. What?
That workout place in the same plaza as France?
Sure.
That's where his Uber driver.
My
pulled
Uber
in.
driver, his mapping system didn't work in his car. And he's like, I'm not from around here. I don't know Royal Oak. I don't know where I'm going. And I was like, oh, no, you go here and here and here. And he's like, how do you know? I'm like, I lived in Royal Oak my whole life. I was a school bus driver. I lived here my whole life. I know exactly where. I know where I'm going. I just need you to take me there. So he was like, every time we got the whole way from my house to here, every side street, he would be like, this street? And I'm
Oh
like,
my
no,
God.
just go straight. I'm like, you're not going to turn for a mile and a half. Go straight. And then
What's a mile?
every side street. Is this one? No. And I
It
had
must
him
be new.
I had him drop me off like a block and a half away.
That's
So you,
fine. I
so
would've
you
got
realize,
sick of it either.
you guys, you realize he's sweating. He's got a full-on cardigan.
It's
Not a cardigan, but he's got a full-on.
What's up with this
sweater.
button I'm sporting?
Oh, lobster
Oh.
love, baby. Lobster love, baby.
lobster button.
Fucking looks good on you. You're wearing a fucking.
This
sweater.
light is harsh. You're
That's a-
right. This light is harsh
Yeah.
on my white
That's
ass
a
skin.
thick. That's a thick knit sweater, bud.
It's
I'm
yeah.
an old
It
man.
was-
My body temperature regulation is all off.
Hey.
When you hit 50, it gets weird. You start sweating all the time, and then you're cold all the time, and your nerves aren't working right, and your circulatory system's all shot, and
Yeah.
you're thinning your blood out with alcohol all the time. And
Here's to you.
It's like a car.
what do you
Oh,
what do you got there?
What did I
Up
do?
to you.
with
You
my-
said you want to drink too much.
No. You want me to
said-
fist fight you? I can't drink anything brown.
Like I said, up to like
I'm
Do
a
you
Polak. I need clear
Do
booze.
you want a little shot of Tito's?
No,
Okay,
I'm all right.
so don't ask me what I'm doing.
All right. No, I just wanted to know what you were doing, not why you were doing it.
Mind
Don't
your
get so
fu-
defensive.
Mind your fucking business. No, you said you didn't want to drink too much, so I didn't. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I left my tea on the table. Oh well.
There's
Okay.
this little stuffed lobster over here. Does it have a name?
That one was
Leroy.
Leroy lobster.
Yeah. Leroy.
Leroy. And the big, we have a really giant one that's Larry lobster.
The big one is big.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, guys. All right,
Yeah.
so
We have some cherry sour balls over there if you'd like a cherry sour ball.
yo, get on it.
You know what I just found at the Dollar Tree that I'm so happy about?
Get on
You
one of
don't
those.
have to if you don't want to. They're good.
No, I have one.
Come on, man.
I have
Dude,
one.
Eric, yeah.
Eric,
I found those. I like.
Herman's are
First of all, I'm an old man. Again, I can't tell you how many times I've already said it in this stream alone.
I love how everybody says. Anytime somebody types Tenney, it'll put that up. Fucking love it.
Sweet.
If
Fuck
you come to my house,
Derp, I want pierogi.
if you come to my house, I have glass candy dishes all over my house with old people candy in it that I love.
Nice.
Werther's candies.
We
Which
got you that for
I
your
love.
birthday. Did you get the birthday present with the Werther's in there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Werther's candies, which I love. Peppermint puffs. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, they're like that.
They're
I know what you're
peppermint,
talking
but then you
about.
put them in your mouth, they start to melt.
Disintegrate
They
almost.
disintegrate.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. Bit of honey.
Oh man, you save those for later because
I don't have any teeth as it is already.
They never come out
That
of your
will-
back.
I only have like 9 teeth.
That will rip
So-
your filling out, yeah.
Yeah,
Bit
so
of honey will
I'm not
kill
even
you.
worried about it anymore. I'm thinking about getting that where they drill and just put fake teeth into your, what's that called? Dental implants?
The implants.
Yeah.
Hey, money.
Yeah, no shit.
A lot of money, dude.
Right? And for the amount of teeth I need replaced, that's like millions of dollars.
Not millions.
It's so.
Hundreds of thousands.
It's hundreds of thousands of
It's
dollars.
insane how
No.
expensive it is.
$90,000 at the
How much?
most. $90K at the most.
90,000?
At
Insurance.
That might as well be a fucking $1 million.
At the most.
That's a lot of money.
That's
$90,000 is like 20 years of my income.
I feel like they.
$90,000 is like, well,
I feel
just
like
fucking
with
put a
the
bullet in my
technology
head.
these days, they could have made it a lot cheaper.
Thailand trip for dental? Yeah, let's go to Thailand. That's gonna, yeah, good job, good job.
Yeah, no, we have the technology now to do like ceramic harder than resin teeth for
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
And they just don't.
No.
And they
Get
just don't do it because they
outrageous.
know they can. Eventually, like, I don't know if anybody else remembers this. Maybe any of the listeners or viewers might remember this. They came up with a thing a few years ago, and they stopped talking about it immediately. I think because it would destroy the whole dental industry. But they were talking about an enzyme that they could put into a baby's mouth, and it would keep tooth decay away your entire life. You would have to go like every 10 years, and they would put a drop in your mouth, and it would put this enzyme in your mouth to keep dental decay from happening. But that's all that you would ever need to do. I mean, you need to brush your teeth and floss and stuff.
Yeah,
It's not
but
profitable though. In the
Right.
long run.
Yeah.
But your teeth wouldn't rot because
That'd
of
be
this
amazing.
enzyme.
that would kill the whole industry.
Yeah. And so I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago they talked about that, and then it just boop, like disappeared off the screen.
Teeth are just luxury bones. You gotta be rich or genetically lucky to keep them out. You seriously, dude.
I think it's weird that your teeth are
Seriously.
your bones exposed. I think
It's-
that's really weird.
Yeah.
Like the only place on your body where you can see your bones.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
That is kind of gross.
Isn't
that kinda
It's
weird?
weird.
I went to the dentist. This is something else that turned me off about the dentist. I got a crown. This is years ago. And a ceramic crown. And I asked the dentist, I said, is the ceramic crown like going to last as long as my teeth? And the dentist laughed and he goes, oh, of course. He's like, they're better than your teeth. You will be dust in a box, my friend, but that ceramic tooth will be in there.
Oh man.
And I was like, don't tell me shit like that when you're about to give me a bunch of gas and I got to go under.
Thanks, bro.
Like, it freaked me out.
Also, where does so I had my wisdom teeth taken out several years ago, like just the top two.
Yeah.
And
Did you go under?
I did.
Okay.
Where did I go during that time? They put that on, like they put the intravenous
And you
stuff,
went
and
out.
then like that, and it was like I was gone. Who knows where I was? I don't remember anything. I remember coming to, and
Yeah.
making my friend take me to the store to get a smoothie, and I was adamant that I needed a lunchbox
When
for work.
When my dad got his knees replaced, or no, he got a hip replaced first, and they had to put him out. And before he went out, I was in the like pre-surgery room talking to him because they had just given him the stuff, and they told him like, you've got whatever, like a minute before this kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad is like, I'm so nervous, and I'm like, don't be nervous. And I'm trying to keep him calm. And then he went out and he got his surgery. He was fine. So then a couple years later, he got his knees replaced, and they gave him the anesthetic. And I was in the room with him as the anesthetic was kicking in, and he goes, I wasn't this worried when they did my hip. And I was like, no, we had this exact conversation. He's like, I've never talked to you about this before. And I was like, oh, that shit was working then when I was talking to you. He has no memory of the conversation before his hip because it was wiping his mind. That is weird shit.
It is weird. It's weird that like a set of chemicals, like what it can do to your brain.
When I got my wisdom teeth taken out, I was awake. They just gave me a local
shot.
I mean, I could have chosen to do that, but I was like, I don't want to be awake for that, and I know it would. I had pretty decent insurance.
So if you've never been awake having your wisdom teeth taken out, the procedure is, for anybody watching, they give you some locals, then you lean back in the chair, and then a nurse puts her hands or his hands on your shoulders, and they hold you down into the chair. And then the dentist takes a fucking wrench and breaks the teeth out of your head.
You can still hear the crunch.
Feeling the teeth break apart because they have a huge metal rod. They have a huge metal rod that's got a little, like, circular piece of metal on it, and they hook it around your tooth and then tighten it. And then the first thing he does is the nurse will hold your head, and the dentist will go, to loosen it. And then hopefully it'll loosen it enough that he can pull it out. But if it cracks, then he literally gets like a hammer and a chisel and just chips the rest of the tooth out of your head.
Oh.
I love this conversation.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I was out for that.
This is as paranormal as it gets. No, it's a thing.
So I pulled a tooth out once at my house.
Did you do the old doorknob in the street?
No, I had a broken.
Sorry.
I had a broken tooth back here, and and there was a big part that was like sharp, and it was hurting my tongue because it kept cutting it. So I was like, "Fuck this!" Right? So I took a couple swigs of I was like, I see it in the movies. People do it in the movies all the time,
grab the
right?
pliers and...
Yeah. So I took a couple swigs of vodka, and I got a pair of lock pliers.
Thinking about metal on teeth too.
That's And so I put it on, and I knew I got it tight because I could hear the tooth start to crunch as I was tightening it.
No.
And I was like, okay, here we go. Like, let's hope this works. And I went, boom, and I hit my hand like against it, and it popped fucking out. It just went boop, and it came out perfect. First hit.
Oh my god.
And there was a ton of blood, and I packed it up. I had cotton. I had everything ready to go. I had been to the dentist before, so I just packed a bunch of cotton in there, and like got it all thinking it was fine.
Yeah.
The next day, it was fine. It had stopped bleeding.
I hate you so much right now.
So listen. So like 2 years later, I go to the dentist, and the dentist is looking at my fucked up teeth, and he goes, who pulled this tooth over there? They did a really good job. And I was like, oh, I did. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I pulled out with some like lock pliers and stuff. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, this looks great. And I was like, oh, thanks. I was worried about it for a while. He's like, no. He said,
cool,
you ever
bro.
thought about being a dentist?
Yeah, you ever seen that movie of Tom Hanks with the ice skate and the rock?
Dude, it was weird how easy it came out.
Oh.
That's, yeah.
Well,
That means
weird.
it was ready to come out. Yeah.
Huh?
It means it was ready.
It was ready to come out for sure. It was all rotted in there. Now, I don't know.
Hey, good job, man.
Let's stay on teeth. This is my last good tooth story because people love teeth stories.
Yeah. One more, and then that's it. Okay.
My friend Joe, that I used to do It's a Cartoon Show with on YouTube. Those are all still up if people want to watch It's a Cartoon Show on YouTube. YouTube.com/It's a Cartoon Show.
It's a cartoon show.
I think so. It should all still be there. But Joe had a broken tooth, and he tried to pull his own tooth out. Are you checking to make sure it's there?
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, link's there.
He tried to pull his own tooth out, and it broke in the back of his mouth. And it was a molar. It was like a deep molar. It wasn't a wisdom tooth, but it was a deep molar. And so he broke it, and it was broken below the gum line. So he was like, well, it's fine. It's not cutting my tooth anymore, right? So maybe 4 or 5 days later, I saw him,
fucking swollen up abscess.
And
Right,
his
yeah.
the side of his
Yep,
face
yep,
is like
yep.
it looks like he's seriously got like 3 potatoes on the side of his
Oh,
face.
no.
His eye and nose are all screwed up, and his face is just this. And I was like, "You gotta go to the hospital right now. Like this is dangerous. You have so much infection like in your mouth." And he's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I was like, "We have to go to the hospital." He's like, "I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't have insurance." Like I'm like that infection
That can make you go
is gonna.
septic.
It's so near your brain.
That will cause a lot of.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so near your brain, like you
could
have to
die
do
from that.
something right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so he starts freaking out, and he's like, let me think about it.
Think about it. No.
We were at a coffee house in Royal Oak. We were at a coffee house. He runs in the bathroom. I go in the bathroom after it. He has taken apart, he's got a mechanical pencil that he has taken apart.
No.
He's got his cheek pulled all the way over to the side.
Barf.
And he sticks the metal end of the mechanical pencil into this giant boil in the inside of his mouth.
Oh, God, no.
And when he did that, I smelled what came out of this giant thing in his face.
Foul.
Foul.
Ugh.
And black, green liquid
Ugh.
just poured out of his mouth into the sink.
You guys want me to mute the mic or?
And I watched,
I'll
I
mute
literally
the mic
I
right now.
literally
I'll
watched
mute
him
the mic right now.
push on the side of his face as this stuff dumped out of his mouth into the sink, and I watched his face return to normal. It was so fucked up. It was
Oh my
so
God.
fucked up. And
Ew.
he kept spitting and spitting, and then finally it like stopped, and it was just there was like blood. And then then he put he like ripped up some hand towel and like put him in his cheek, and we went out and smoked. He never went to the doctor.
Oh, my God.
And he was fine.
Well,
But dude, I have never seen
this is horrifying.
liquid that looked or smelled like that in my life.
Thanks, buddy.
That's like, I don't know what gangrene actually is, but that sounds like in your face gangrene almost. Like,
It was terrible. Like when
Thanks-
I'm telling
hey,
you,
Thanks, man. Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
It's the craziest thing. Well, he was a speed freak for a while too. So one of the problems with his teeth was, you remember when you could buy trucker speed at the gas station? Like mini thins?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So he used to take 3 to 4 bottles of mini thins a day.
Oh my God. How did
Yeah.
his heart not explode?
Well, we often wondered that. But he would have a ton of problems from it. Like his eyes would dry up. He'd like take a whole bottle and his eyes would dry up and get real weird. And
I mean, look at Lemmy.
it ate his teeth away, and it was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
He broke a blood pressure cuff at Meyer. He put his arm in that free blood pressure cuff, and it started to inflate. And we're like, it's gonna go off the charts. Like we went to see how high his blood pressure was, and it goes, and then all of a sudden the machine, like, if the only thing it missed was the puff of smoke to come out of it, but it like all the display went blank, and then it just said like off, and then it deflated,
Oh,
and we were
really?
like,
It's like, oh, you're dead.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you broke the machine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
That's amazing, John.
That's freaking wild.
Can I smoke again?
Yeah.
Can you?
Can I?
Fuck, you can do whatever you want, bud.
All right, I'm gonna smoke again.
Absolutely.
After the
You wanna go with
abscess
him?
tooth,
No, go for it.
like,
Yo, the black and green coming out of the fucking cheek. I think we're good for a bit.
All right, grab a snack. You have to use the restroom. Go for it.
can you show an episode of It's a Cartoon Show while we're on break?
Yeah, because it's your show, right?
Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
show.
it's
Is it
fucking
is it
movie.
old
Yo,
cartoons that?
let me do
Public
that.
domain cartoons.
Okay, yeah,
let me do
we can
that.
we can do that.
Yeah.
All right, so let
Show
me
an
do
episode
this.
of It's a Cartoon Show. I'll show you which one to show.
Go to YouTube.
Do. I don't know if you'll find it that way.
On YouTube.
I mean, you went to it last time by the link. I don't think it's popular enough to actually even find by searching it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. All right, so
I can do
It's
it
just
while you're out there.
youtube.com/It's a Cartoon Show.
That's what I was trying to do. Thanks, baby.
Mhm. There it is, right there. You can just click on it.
Yeah. All right.
I'm fascinated to even watch this process. I would go to videos,
Yep.
and then I would show. Oh, you know what? The Halloween episode is coming up. So show Halloween Goat. There's scroll down.
Was
Wait a
it
minute.
this one?
Oh yeah, it's
Right
the
there?
spooky. Yeah, it's a cartoon show, spooky Halloween special. Yep. Perfect.
Hold on one second. Screen. And do. Because
It captures. Just move OBS up there.
sorry, yes.
Just so we can see OBS.
Yeah.
And then that gives us 8 minutes. That should be pretty good, right?
Yeah. Why not, right?
Alright, so go to.
Default.
Goodbye, Roman fees that rack up overseas.
Sorry, hold on.
I know, but you're so slow.
I'm so slow. I'm so slow.
Is he slow?
No, just when he's had a few to drink. You can't find things on the
Hello?
on the monitor.
Yeah. Well, I went full screen for that. Like, you know, I'm trying to figure it back out here.
It was a fun little show.
Are we
That was
muted?
that was a fun show. That was good.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Hey,
There you go. Happy Halloween.
what's up, guys?
Now I get to play a game.
What are we doing?
Oh shit! Here we go. Tenney's on it, dude. He just wants to play games.
Whenever I come on, I never play games. No, I'm actually trying to play.
You did play Bigfoot that one time.
I did play Bigfoot that one time.
Bigfoot.
I shot Bigfoot.
No, he
Yeah,
murdered you.
he did
But
murder you.
he did murder me,
He
but I
murdered
shot him
you.
once.
We can hear you. I know.
Smash tennis. I always like the Kirby games. You just eat things and barf it back up at people.
What is that? What is Demon Crest?
I don't know. It looks
Okay.
intense.
All right.
All right.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. Halloween. Have a happy Halloween.
Thank you guys for hanging out tonight.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
look at
that's
that.
scary. That's scary. Talk about demons earlier. See, it's all coming around.
It is indeed.
Looks metal.
Uh-oh.
Uh oh.
Ooh,
that
it's a
is,
dragon and shit.
Yeah, he's large.
Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
I'm a Fairweather fan. Let's call it that. I'm a
Alright.
Fairweather fan. I like it, but I'm not fucking hardcore. Oh fuck.
I don't think you're gonna fight that right away. I could be wrong, but maybe your
You
friends.
might have to run away from it though.
Really?
I'm running away from it.
Okay, maybe.
Jump, dude. Oh, you're fucked.
Maybe he'll like hit you over the fence.
Welcome to the game
Nope.
and get fucked.
This is how it starts.
That's
Oh.
how it started?
Welcome to the game. Get fucked, buddy.
Wait, I'm pressing every button as some kind of attack, and all I've got is jump.
Do you have to like jump over him and maybe go in the door he came out of?
You can't jump over that
I
dragon.
don't know.
dude. It's like Smaug, bud.
You know the song The Wizard by Black Sabbath?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's
Yeah.
about Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. A lot of people don't know that.
I did not know that.
Well, you ever listen to Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
It's all Lord of the Rings.
It's all Lord of the Rings.
What the
yeah.
heck are you?
Oh, I found my...
Oh.
This is the
Watch
dumbest
out
way
for
to start a
his-
game ever, by the
You
way.
like super
What the
boss
fuck
fight?
is going on here? Oh, you hit him.
Oh, you got him in the nose.
Oh, yeah. Him in his face.
This looks horrible.
Oh.
Apparently he incinerates.
John, you suck.
I do suck.
No, these games are hard.
You know what, though? This game, at the time, was probably... People were like, look at these fucking graphics.
Yeah.
Are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, if you squint
True.
your eyes, like... and you were watching this on some shitty, like, 10-inch television.
A CRT. You're like, that's a dragon, dude. That's a real dragon. I see him. It's a real dragon.
Do you think dragons were ever real?
No.
No. Like as a dinosaur type creature though, not like a dragon. Like where did the mythos of dragons come from? Was there a creature that was similar to that maybe existed that could be construed?
I mean, I think
as-
people found dinosaur bones and were like, oh, fuck, there were dragons.
It's like a big pterodactyl or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even if you find a T-Rex head or something like that, like,
Next to
you've
a
got to
pterodactyl,
create, like, stories about it. But the thing is a lot
Yeah.
of times people found bones like the idea of a cyclops comes from people finding elephant skulls. And if you look at an elephant skull upside down where the trunk is,
it's
looks
just
like a
that.
giant eyeball should go there, and that it would have like tusks on its head. So it would have horns on its head and one giant eye.
Oh.
Right? So they thought, oh, there must be this thing that is one giant eye.
How is this the first level, dude? Jump with that.
Fireball. Oh, not
Oh.
even fair. Oh, you didn't. I guess you can get hit by that once. Oh,
How is this the first level?
I don't know. This is the worst first
This is
level.
the worst first.
Worst game ever.
All
I
right.
think they make it a little easier to like.
How many lives do I get?
I don't know. Maybe just.
I wonder if...
I don't.
Oh yeah, I don't
Just
know.
cut. Yeah, this is the game. You have to beat this.
I have
This
no
is
idea.
all there is to it.
But yeah, I mean, so finding stuff... And the other thing is people don't realize, too, is like our understanding of the natural world. When people talk about Bigfoot, and they're like, oh, there's no such thing as Bigfoot. Like, we would have found it by now. I don't think that people realize that, like, razorback or like, silverback gorillas, like, the first time someone, like, as a scholar, the first time someone saw a gorilla and wrote about a gorilla was, like, in 1780.
Yeah.
Like, the first gorilla in the United States was at the New York Zoo in 1860.
Okay.
No.
So you're talking like just over 100 years ago, people found out about gorillas.
Which was not that long.
Not
ago.
that long ago.
Not that long at all.
Also, if you think about how expansive is, like the mountain ranges, how big and how many places that people have never even set foot in or on because they
If you're-
can't get in there.
Especially like the Pacific Northwest.
All over the world, mountain
There's
ranges.
spots in those woods no male or woman or human being has ever stepped foot on.
So two things that
There's
are
still,
really
there's still spots there like
two
we've
things that
never
are
really
kind of
done.
interesting that people don't really talk about that often is one of the big mysteries in nature are intergenerational bear dens. Right? So when bears hibernate, they have to have a safe place to sleep. Obviously.
Ooh, God.
And one of the things that naturalists and scientists have always been fascinated about is there are bear dens. I got him. Got him. Got him.
Pounder. Fucking
Boom!
Pounder.
There are bear dens where bear families have been sleeping and hibernating for decades. And scientists don't know where they're at.
That's wild.
Like bears just disappear. Some, I mean, obviously you see some in caves and some will sleep in caves, but there are things called intergenerational bear dens where the bears just stop being seen and no one knows where they're at and you can't find them. Like they're so far down in the ground, they're so well hidden from us because they need to be so that they can survive that people don't know where they're at. So, I mean, if bears are creating houses that they're using for decades that we can't find. If you have Bigfoot, which is probably smarter than a bear.
We'd think so.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to find where its house is. And then bears usually live in a larger community. If Bigfoot is a large hominid, it's probably just a family unit. So it's probably a mom, a dad, and like one or two children. And then those children will age out, obviously, and go and start their own family. But that means you're only looking for 2 or 3 Bigfoot living in a family unit. Where bears, you will see them gathering together, like where there's dozens of them in one spot.
So okay, so here's a big question about Bigfoot skeptics, right?
Sure.
We never found any bones. There's no fucking like evidence of them, and there's a couple theories about.
This fucking dragon, man.
Yeah,
He
he
sucks.
doesn't like you at all,
Got his
dude.
head stuck in a thing. Isn't it though like a normal thing too that you don't find big animal bones very often, like bear bones or?
Well, people have found bear bones.
Yeah,
obviously, and deer
animal
or
bones
whatever,
are actually fairly rare because of predation. Like animals carry bones away and eat them, and they'll eat the whole bones because there's
Seriously.
nutrients in
Yeah.
the bones.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Good
Like,
source of calcium.
Yep. And so if
so when people say like, yeah, Bigfoot, this and that, and their, I don't want to say excuse, but their reasoning, no bones, no remains, no hair, no nothing. mean, like, there's a couple different theories about it, but what do you think, man? Like, no Bigfoot bones.
I think that's fine. I mean, if there only needs to be, if you talk to primatologists and zoologists, they talk about the fact that there might only need to be anywhere from like 20 to 50,000 Bigfoot in the whole world. That is a very small fucking amount. And if they're smart and they're staying away from us, and because of, if they bury their dead, like we might not even, like they might have some kind of weird funeral rite that we're not taking into account. So
True.
Elephants, don't they bury their dead?
elephants have a graveyard. They all go to a certain place where they know that it's safe to die. So I mean, this idea that like, oh, we've never found a bone, so like it doesn't exist, is kind of backwards thinking in the sense that
Because you're
Maybe
talking,
they have found bones, they just didn't know it wasn't like an ape.
yeah, right.
Well, that comes down to the whole. That comes down to the whole basic thing about like where no one talks to each other and there's no communication between anthropologists and cryptozoologists or ufologists or anything. Like, it could be a lot of the same thing.
That's what I feel about even just like the occult, like, and then the religions of the world. There's so much each could learn about each other
If they would just take the time to talk
Seriously,
to each
'cause
other.
It's all the same shit, dude. When you get down to the brass tacks, it's all the same shit, man.
Yeah.
It's all the same fucking thing. It's disgusting how people don't
They're
get
just
along and
closed
communicate, you know, and
close
share
to
information.
new
Yeah.
ideas.
Well, and close to ideas that aren't even that new. Like, like just because you're calling a god one name and someone's calling it a different name, although they have all the same aspects. But like you have to have the right name.
It's the same
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
And so, you know, when it comes to, well, the other thing is too is like, you know, obviously scientists want to be able to measure stuff.
If you have to jump on that one to get up there, that might be too far. Sorry, just a.
She is a shotgun gamer. She
No,
will
I
tell
was
you what
wondering
to
how the
do.
fuck he was supposed to get up there.
Use your wings.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it.
Use your wings.
his head's kind of cut off.
Sorry, chat. We're just
Can you fix the camera so it
Getting
goes
it.
up a little
Am
higher?
I?
Conversation.
Oh wait, should I
Which
sit
chat?
down a little bit like this?
We can.
Is that better?
His head was cut off when he was sitting up.
Okay.
If you could just make it a little taller, not too tall. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, here's the thing. Scientists want to be right. They want to be able to measure stuff. They want to be able to qualify it and quantify it. The problem is that, like, so
Science is
We're-
an art. Math is something different.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
We think that science is the right way to do science because it's given us answers to stuff. But it's not necessarily the right way to do science.
Not
Like,
at all.
It's horrible.
well, and it's only existed for a couple hundred years. I
Yeah,
mean, we're still
yeah.
refining it. And we've also gotten to a point now where most science that's done, you know, scientists hated religion because they were like, only priests can read the Bible. Everybody should be able to read the Bible. Like, that's a big thing. Like, all information should be open and accessible to everyone, right? So right now, in the world of theoretical physicists, there are 500 true theoretical physicists in the world.
Okay.
Those 500 guys understand theoretical physics and the physics behind it, and then they explain it to everybody else. Those theoretical physicists are the priests that they hated in the beginning.
Well, yeah.
Like, you've got 500 guys who know how to do the math, and then they're going to tell us what reality is, right?
Yeah.
Which is what they started. They did science so that there wouldn't be priests telling people what reality is. And now they've become the thing that they hate the most. Like, will we understand the math? You don't. We'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
No, teach us.
And anytime there's a new idea, they absolutely refute it and don't wanna. Like, it takes years and years and
If it
years
doesn't go-
to
yeah.
even be accepted. Like, yeah, it's.
I don't know what I missed over here that's making me not.
I don't know.
Well, science is not an absolute. Forgive my term.
Nothing is an absolute.
It's not an absolute science.
I mean, I love science. I talked about
Yeah.
this on a podcast recently. Am I just going to sit here and kill these guys because I
No,
can't go
it's-
anywhere else?
I wonder if you have to somehow get up there and jump over it. Oh, what to do?
I don't even know what this fucking game is you're playing right now, dude.
I
It's
think
fun,
he can grab
but-
the ledge of the top thing if he backs up.
Yeah, try to dig in the skulls and
Yeah,
grab
and then
the
jump
actual top ledge.
to
Yeah.
the side. Yeah.
Oh, heyo.
Oh shit.
He's got it, baby.
Oh, boss.
She has well lost.
Oh, nope. That's just a fucking
There's some
statue.
background shit. There's a boss coming now because that's the end of that screen. So there's somebody coming this way probably. So one of the things I talked about on this podcast, I'll try and watch and see if a boss comes.
Try reading the
Is
Bible.
that so? Brian David Josephson, who's a physicist, and Stephen Hawking had this conversation one time, which was, what if the answer to the universe and all the questions in the universe are that there's no answer and it's supposed to remain a mystery? What if the answer is there legitimately is just no answer? It has to remain a mystery. What if that is the actual answer? One of the best ways that the universe could remain mysterious and unsolved is to give us a mechanism to think that we have discerned the answer and therefore we stop looking for it. Because if we had science and science says, oh, this is the answer, this is how everything works, and that makes enough sense in our heads, then we stop looking for the answer because we already have the answer.
Exactly.
And the answer is that it's supposed to remain unsolved. So since we've stopped looking because we think we have the answer, it remains unsolved.
So
And we
here's
never
a-
find the actual
yeah.
true end game to it. Does that make
here's a
sense?
Here's a
Yeah.
question for you. You've been investigating UFO sightings for a long time.
Yeah.
You've been investigating, like, you know, UFOnauts and, like, trying to figure out,
Oh, there's something there. Look at that.
do you ever want to see one? John,
UFOs?
do you ever want to see one?
A UFO or an alien?
A UFO, like an actual, like, extraterrestrial or UFOnaut or craft? Do you ever actually want to see one?
Or have you seen one? Would
I mean,
be
I've
better.
seen UFOs.
No. Do you actually want to see one?
What are you asking?
Like an alien. Like
Oh,
a
an
fucking
alien,
extraterrestrial.
okay.
Do you ever want to, like, come in contact with one? Do you want that?
I think that I might have been in contact with some.
Well, not the hybrids, not
No, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you guys know how I think. All right, I'm
Yeah.
done with this game.
Okay.
You guys know how I
give it
think
a good
about
go.
stuff.
He
And
give-
so, like,
hey,
like I
Chet,
don't,
he gave it a good go.
I gave it a good go.
It was pretty good.
like,
So-
I don't know if when I'm investigating haunted houses, if I'm talking to extraterrestrials or not. Like, I don't know if I'm out in the woods and, like, I don't know if synchronicities or coincidences are interactions with extraterrestrials. Like, are you like the idea of me walking up and seeing like a gray or like something like that
Yeah.
seems very uninteresting to me. It just seems like meeting a cat or a dog or like a bear. I mean, I'm very interested in meeting a cat or a dog or a bear, and always very happy when I do meet a dog or a cat, you know?
Yo,
But
bud.
the fact that it's just a living thing that came here and says hello to me, that's pretty uninteresting to me.
Yeah.
That just means that this happened somewhere else and they got here before we got there.
Yeah.
Big deal. But if they communicate with us telepathically, if they communicate with us through synchronicities and coincidences, and if they speak to us in the form of ghosts or spirits or psychically or like through ESP and seances, like that is far more interesting to me. So I don't know if I've ever really, I think that I've had interactions with otherworldly beings through dreams. And I think that those many times, some of the interactions I've had with dream inhabitants were entities or things that weren't of my brain's making. I think that they were outside of me in interacting with me in my dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So
What the
there.
fuck?
That's kind of my long convoluted answer.
So the question is, like, it's all about, like, not knowing the answer for the search, and that's what's fun in it. If you already knew, like, if you already met one, no more search, right? You already know. Like,
But there's
the
not
search-
just one. There's supposed to be different
Well,
types. It depends on your
you know-
interest, right?
You know what
and
I'm
what
saying,
you're looking
but
for.
like particular, like, yeah.
I mean, I think for me, like, I want to know, this sounds probably very naive, but, like, I want to know every person in the world. I really would like to meet everybody in the world. Like, whether I hate them or not. It gives me insight into myself, how I react to them, how they react to me. this is, as far as I know, the only shot I have on this planet in this body. So, like, let's get weird, like with as many people as possible and as many animals as possible, as many experiences as possible. The thing that bums me out is when people say, like, I do know the answer, I have met aliens, I have met UFOs, because then their search is over.
That's kind of sad.
And it is sad.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, once they know the answer, they stop. Because they know the answer. And how, like, that's sad, because you should always be striving to be thinking deeper and beyond yourself.
I almost feel like at that point that person put a wall in their brain to be like, okay, that's the answer, instead of, looking for more, searching for more. Okay, I've met this, but there's got to be more to it. What is the more? What's the next thing?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and if you met an alien, if alien was like, "Hey dudes, what's up, alien?" and you're like, "Cool, where are you from?" and they're like,
What's up, alien?
They're like, "From Zeta Reticuli," and you're like, "Cool, how long have your people been there?" and it's like, "We evolved there," and it's like, "Cool," and then like, is that the end of your interaction? Because that's like, that interaction is now like, what are your religious belief systems? Do you think that when you die you have ghosts and spirits and souls? Like the conversation is like it should be with any person that you meet for the first time.
Can I have your phone number? Let's talk about
let's
this
talk
more.
about it all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to just like meet and be like, okay, cool. Give me, how do I contact you for future conversations about
Think questions I might have.
your world and
wouldn't you be interested in me as much as I'm interested in you?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who are like, whether it's religion or paranormal, like people are like, God spoke to me and this is the answer. Period. And a lot of people are like, that's it.
Right, yeah.
Like, no more religious, spiritual quest. God talked to me one time. Or, like, here's the Bible. That's everything God ever said. We're done. That's really bizarre, too.
It is bizarre.
And that there's no fascination in your brain to, like, go beyond that.
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand, like, what's the full stop at, like, why don't you want to learn more about other religions or other stuff in that vein of interest? Like, why is that full stop?
Like, I grew up without any religion, and, like, when I was first exposed to the Bible, like, I immediately had billions of questions. And the religious people that I talked to were like, you're not supposed to question that. It's about faith, right? So...
Well, yeah.
But I just had simple questions like, Moses goes into the mountain to see God, and God says, listen, my face is so perfect and bright that you have to hide your face from me, otherwise I'll blow your eyes out. Like, I'm going to burn your eyes out, right? I'm all powerful. I'm the universe. You can't look at me or you'll go insane. And then
it's almost like what, radiation or like radiant energy or something.
But as a kid, when I heard that passage, the first thing that popped into my mind was like, God can do everything except turn the brightness down on his face.
Oh, there's no dimmer switch.
like I can do everything. I can create planets, but I can't make it so that you can look at me. That seems really strange.
That he could look at you a roundabout way was Jesus, right?
Right.
But it was, why couldn't he just make himself turn down the
dimmer switch?
I don't know. That's an excellent question.
Like, dimmer switch yourself, dude. Like, I pulled all these people out into the desert to hear you talk.
Yeah, maybe that.
And now I can't even look at you because you can't control the brightness on your screen?
That is, I never even thought about that.
That's so strange.
There's no dark mode.
That's a good point.
But just those questions, and you're not allowed, a lot of times with religion, you're not allowed to ask questions like that because it shows you, like, doubting your religious faith.
But shouldn't that make it stronger if you are able to ask questions and are allowed to have doubt? Because if you're not, and you're just like, this is what it is, this is what you have to do, who the fuck wants to be told what to do? Like, why are you telling me what to believe?
That's the control system of humans, though.
Yeah.
Like, I used to have a friend who was a minister, and he would sometimes say stuff about God or Jesus, because it was a mildly Christian church that he was a minister of. But he would always in his sermons, he would throw in this caveat where he would say, like, and he would say something to the effect of, Jesus said, and then the minister would go, and remember, the Bible was written by people, and I'm not talking about the system and structure put into place after Jesus died. I'm talking about the message that Jesus was probably trying to give to us. And so he would always like tell people like, listen, the Bible was handwritten by people, like there's some chapters missing, but the message is, and this used to say this too, like the whole Bible can be broken down to a sentence, which is love each other. Like that's the main overall message. Like beyond all of the seven-headed dragons like coming up out of the ocean and in Apocalypse and in Revelations and stuff.
I feel Jesus just wanted us to be kind to each other.
Right.
Love each other.
Yeah, love each other.
Yeah, and then so I was doing a podcast earlier this week, or maybe I even said this to Kyle on his podcast, but
Well, Kyle.
But I was saying, like, in the way that I think about things, I think about when I'm talking to you two, or when I'm talking to anybody, actually. When I talk to anyone, I try and imagine that you're just me in disguise.
That could be.
Right? So I'm just talking to versions of me, and I'm trying to see how well adapted I am to other people. So some people take that as saying, like, oh, then you think you're God. Like, if everyone is you, and you're everyone, then you're God. But if we're talking about Jesus, like in the Bible, Jesus does a miracle and people say, why can't we do that? And Jesus says, all these things I do, you can do and more. That's one of the things that Jesus says. So he already is putting himself on level ground. And then they say, but you're the Son of God. And he says, no, you call me the Son of God. We're the children of God. Like, and so like all of that weirdness gets brushed away by him trying to just be a nice guy and saying like, listen, I'm not any better than you. You're not any better than me. Let's try and be nice to each other. Like, and go from there. And when you break down most religions, that is the overall goal.
It should be like a universal kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so so to spin this in a weird way, so that when like right now what's really popular with UFOs is everybody's like, why is the government so interested in UFOs? The UFOs are everywhere. Like the military should know about the UAPs and the Tic Tacs and blah 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 blah.
Hold on. Is UAP okay?
I hate it. I use flying saucer and UFO.
Don't call me UAPs, by the way.
Don't call
That's just like them
Do
trying
not
to
call me
control
UAPs,
the
man.
information,
It's
right?
UFO and flying saucer is the way to
man.
go.
Yeah. Don't call me UAPs.
But
That's the government's term for them now.
But the thing is like, as soon as you start obsessing over the government and their interest in UFOs, it stops being about the advancement of the human race and us maybe interacting with space brethren, and it becomes like a military situation, which is the furthest thing from fucking brotherhood and like family that you could ever possibly. Well, we need to start pumping more money into the military because we have to have a better radar system to stop them from coming
Which
here.
is the dumbest shit ever. Because they could have blown us up years and years and years ago
Well,
if they were going to.
Right.
Speaking of that. Okay, so John, most UFO sightings, if you want to put it in like a time frame and a time zone or a specific area, I mean, Roswell was the first kind of like thing, right? Roswell, New Mexico.
You mean like in the mainstream news?
If you want to talk about Area 51 or that Air Force base, they were the first ones to start doing nuclear weapon tests, right?
White Sands Missile Testing Ground near Roswell.
White Sands, thank you.
But the thing is, and people miss this, is so in 1896, so 50 years before Roswell, there was this thing that was called the Great Airship Flap.
Oh,
And
yeah.
And so in 1896, people all across the United States saw crazy airships. Like some of them looked like Zeppelins.
They had anchors.
Yeah, some of them had
freaking
anchors that they would like use to anchor themselves to the ground, and guys would climb down ropes out of the airships and
Yeah.
like talk to people in the
Guys.
city.
It's all in
Guys.
Passport to
Guys.
Margonia.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
read that, they talk about a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
so the
that.
Great Airship
yeah.
Wave of 1896 is like the first time it kind of current modern, like all of a sudden there's people up in the sky flying around and people are seeing weird lights and talking to these guys who have giant, sometimes balloons, sometimes they look like actual sea ships that are just like floating around. And yeah,
Yeah.
anchors getting caught in the chimneys of churches.
Wasn't there one that carried away, like, I can't forget, it was like a president, Thomas Jefferson's cow, like, away from his...
Yeah, Jefferson's cow, or no, Hamilton. Hamilton's
you.
cow got taken away by an airship. No, wasn't in the movie, or wasn't in the musical Hamilton. They didn't put that in. They should have put that in.
So, question.
Christopher Columbus saw a UFO. Columbus Day. I know it's controversial. Columbus saw a UFO.
Yeah. No, he had a couple sightings coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shandrip wants to know, what is your favorite era of UFO sightings? What ones most interest you? By era, do you mean time or year? Or
my favorite UFO sightings are in the 1950s, because the 1950s is when...
Like Benny and Barney, or...
No, it's before Betty and Barney, actually.
Okay.
But it's the contactees of the 1950s. It's when all of a sudden, all of these aliens show up. They don't have a uniform shape. Some of them are little short guys with big noses. Some of them are wearing spacesuits. Some of them just look like tall blonde people. The aliens are everywhere.
Yeah, all kinds
and they all have the same message, which is don't blow the Earth up with atomic weapons. Try and get along with each other.
Before they even knew what that was.
Right. I mean, the atomic weapons had started to be exploded. Like we had done Hiroshima, and all of a sudden these aliens show up in all these different crafts, and that's where you get the contactees like Buck Nelson and Daniel Fry.
Buck Nelson is interesting.
The guy with his dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
But those are that's my favorite era, because the other thing is too, you have a bunch of, now I understand you have a bunch of common, simple people wanting to become famous. And you can do this by saying that you saw a UFO. And people say that all the time. Like, oh, Buck Nelson was a farmer in Missouri, and of course he saw a UFO because then he made lots of money and toured around the country. People do not understand
that ruined their life.
Not only did it ruin their life, they did not make any money at it.
No.
Like Buck Nelson's book, and I say book loosely, like Buck Nelson's book was published by a UFO group in Grand Rapids. They printed like 200 copies, which you sold for $1 a piece. Like, you weren't making millions of dollars, and everybody thought you were insane.
Yeah.
So what was the actual point of those people making up that story, unless part of the phenomena is archetypal, and it needs a story to be retold in a certain way and in a certain manner. And so, like I said, even if stories end up becoming falsified, like somehow or another, the 8 stories that have existed throughout all humanity keep getting updated and retold. And they're not really updated and retold through the mainstream. They're updated and retold through normal, common, everyday people. Now, eventually they reach the mainstream. I had this conversation with Mallerman about Bird Box, because Bird Box...
If you guys don't know who Mallerman is...
our friend Josh Mallerman, who wrote the
Bird Box,
book Bird Box and the Netflix movie. When I was talking to Josh, I was asking him, like, did you have in mind when you wrote Bird Box Arthur Machen's book, The Great God Pan? Because Arthur Machen's book, The Great God Pan, is about a girl who sees Pan and goes insane.
Yeah.
And 100 years later, Josh writes a book about this thing that you see that drives you insane.
Yeah.
And it's the same story finding a way to tell itself in the modern era.
And when you brought that up to him, I bet he didn't have an idea.
No, he was like, we were laying under a tree at the time, pretty drunk.
Yeah.
But I mean, he knew that story. He knows Arthur Machen and knows that horror fiction, but had never put it together in his head that like it might be cyclical, that these stories that Pan wants to be recognized again and finds a new way to do it.
Also, that when writing,
I don't have his.
I feel sometimes a lot of when people have a muse or you write, it comes from outside of yourself. Sometimes you'll sit down
Mallerman?
and you'll
Mall.
Maler.
Man. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, just
so
copy
anyway.
paste it. I don't have his links, but he's a good dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
When you write,
John
you
Melman. I said Josh.
Stop talking for 1 second.
No. I put John Melman.
It's Josh.
It's Josh.
You guys can figure it
Fuck
out.
me and my dick. Sorry.
I'm gonna try.
Joes.
All right, third time.
Josh.
Can you give me like 2 minutes and then you can
I wrote Josh.
babble.
Thank you.
Thank you. So
You guys know what I'm saying.
when writing, you've written a book, actually several books. Do you ever feel like you write something and it just comes completely from outside yourself? Like you've tuned in and tapped into something that's like coming from, people say the Akashic record or whatever. Like something outside of you either gave you this or you tapped into something that just like channeled through you as you wrote it. And it's like something like that where maybe he just like got a sparkle of that and it went through him and like he turned it into his own interpretation.
Yeah, I know. I think that happens a lot. I think it happens so commonly to us. When you talk to musicians, they talk about, I don't know where that song came from. When I paint, sometimes I draw my monsters. Like as I'm drawing them,
I love your monsters.
like they just very freeform start forming themselves. And then sometimes I will feel bad. Like I'll look at them and I'll know that their eyes aren't right. And I'll fix their eyes and I'll feel bad about it. And then I'm like, how can I feel bad about this thing I created? Oh, it's because I didn't create this thing. It's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's very musy. It's very channeling. It's very daemonic reality.
Yeah.
Like there is something like picking at our brains. I feel like when I was talking about Beam Rider earlier,
Yeah.
like when I said I got into a zone, like I'm not even playing anymore. Like I'm not. It's that whole idea of in a minute I might stand up and go out and smoke, but I'm not thinking about what muscles I have to flex to stand up. There's something else that sometimes seems in control, and I see that when I play video games. I see like all of a sudden when I was playing Beam Rider and I got into the zone, everything was making sense.
Yeah, just
I was completely online with it. What wasn't frustrating to me at all. Like I was shooting at the right times. Everything was happening perfectly. And then when it was over, like, why did it happen that one time? What was channeling through me to get in sync with that? What was happening to me when I was writing this chapter of this book that I don't even remember writing?
Yeah.
And I think it happens all the time. I think it happens with conversation. Sometimes you're talking to someone, you don't know why you even said something. You'll say something like, it happens to me all the time where I'll say something that sounds really smart, and then I'll think about it later. I'll go,
like,
oh, where the
whoa.
fuck did that come from? Like, I'm not that smart to come up with that.
It's like the expression when people say, pulled that one out of your ass. Like, where did it come from? Who knows?
Out of my ass.
Like, maybe it came from the ether.
Yeah.
So Marley says, I have a great collection of and want more of the monsters. I said, do we want more John to draw more monsters to sell? I mean, let's go.
I have recently rearranged my office in the upstairs of my house, and there is a file cabinet, just so anybody knows, when I die, there's a file cabinet that is full of paintings and drawings from 30 years that
I know.
just sit in there.
So I know where your house is right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to steal it all and sell it
I mean,
to
there's
you
just
guys.
notebooks filled with stuff. Like, my old grimoires are in there with my
Oh.
magic spells and stuff that I
That's
used to
pretty
do
cool.
and don't do anymore. I've actually thought about publishing. You're not supposed to publish grimoires, but I don't do that magic anymore. And maybe someone would find insight in what I used to be doing. So I've actually kind of thought about doing
Do you have
that.
a will written
Yes.
up? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I have a will written up, and then I have...
Everybody should, by the way.
So
I
every...
don't care how young you are.
Every
You have a will.
2 years, next year is one of the years, but every 2 years, it used to be every year. Every 2 years, I have 10 letters to 10. I choose mentally in my mind 10 people, and 10 people have letters. After I die, they get those letters.
Oh.
Dude, am I one of them? If not,
You can't
let's
ask
end-
that.
Get the fuck out. I'm just kidding.
I don't tell people. I don't tell who has letters and who
You
doesn't.
shouldn't.
Ah.
But every 2 years, sometimes I go through and like relationships have changed, and like that letter gets thrown out, and a new person gets added to the list.
Fair enough. Oh.
Moon Wishes
I like
says,
that idea.
Just has a big ghost painting that is so fire. I
Oh,
know,
my
of-
ghosty paintings.
Of
Yeah.
Of course she does.
What?
Well, you're
course.
just jealous.
Just jealous.
You're
That's-
jealous.
that's
I,
my-
I mean, I want it.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
Tenney
my
painting.
that's my jealousy coming out. You want to smoke?
I will smoke, but I will say,
Good.
I'll tell you right now, the thing that's really interesting to me is, so obviously, like my family get letters, those after death letters.
Yeah.
But what's really strange is like my mom died, right? Like my mom doesn't get a letter anymore, so someone else got added to the list.
Aw.
But it's weird to think that she's not going to read a letter. But then I was also thinking about how weird it was that she might have to read a letter, because the last thing a parent wants to do,
Oh yeah.
right?
Let's have
And
their
so,
children.
so when I
Yeah.
threw it away, there was this moment of like, oh, she's never going to read this letter. But at the same time, I was like, oh, thank God she never had to
yeah.
read this letter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, these weird like moments of being human and being able to full experience of like everything instead of just being happy all the time. Like sometimes being fucking sad or being fucking. I have a couple of friends on Twitter that are happy all the time, and it drives me crazy.
It can't be possible.
No,
It's not
It's
real.
not
It's not
possible.
real.
I don't trust it. I don't
And if
trust
you're
it,
happy
dude.
all the time, at some point it just becomes like, what else? If you're,
It's fucking annoying. I don't trust them. Yeah.
you have to be sad sometimes to actually appreciate the happiness, or depressed
Thank
to appreciate the ups, the highs, and the lows. Like it's impossible.
It's a fucking.
And anyone that
it's a
tells
fucking
you
mask.
it's not, it
it's
is a mask.
And
It's a
not only that,
fake.
but doesn't
It's a
it,
fake.
like, doesn't it, maybe this is just me, but, like, doesn't it feel, I know it doesn't feel good, but doesn't it, we're lacking in words when we get into this situation. Doesn't it feel good sometimes to cry
Oh yeah.
and be sad and
Yeah.
just get that fucking emotion out of you?
It does. It's like an energy release.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
almost like a, not like a way of feeling like when you after you meditate, but like it's a physical release.
John.
Yeah, and it's cathartic.
John.
Like,
Yeah.
cathartic.
I love crying. If I have a reason to cry, I fucking love it. I love
I
crying.
cry at fucking TV commercials.
I love it.
Yeah.
If I have a reason to cry,
Everything
I
makes me
fucking
cry.
love it.
Yeah.
I love crying.
I can see like a cute
What a money.
I can see like a cute dodo about a capybara or something like that.
I love
and just
capybaras.
fucking bawl like this
Oh.
capybara has a new hat, and I'm like crying.
Dude, oh my god, are you kidding me?
If they didn't eat 20 pounds of grass and eat a giant pond, and they didn't live in Australia, I would want one.
There's strict rules on owning a capybara.
You gotta
I
have a
want
lot of
one. Yeah.
land, like a certain amount of land.
The
to have
problem,
them.
so I want
Yeah,
a
Molly,
wombat.
for sure.
Oh,
for
those
sure,
are so
Molly.
cute.
I want a
too.
wombat because it's just a big fat furry pig cat.
I
Baby-
follow
you ever seen a
Sir
baby-
Wobbles on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
You just seen a baby wombat?
Oh,
It looks
yeah.
like- it looks like an old
No,
kung
I
fu
have been a
master.
fan of wombats since before the internet. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of wombats, but
Yeah.
the problem
Because
is
you were alive before the internet.
that's right.
Yeah.
The problem
You were
is,
like
so one of
40
my friends who
You
lives
were
in
like
Australia.
40 when the internet came out.
I was
Got him.
I got
Oh,
my
man, Tenney.
first AOL online disc.
Oh yeah.
I was 22.
Okay.
Okay.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, so that would have been 92. I think 92 was when I built my first GeoCities website.
Okay.
I remember Geos.
Remember GeoCities?
Oh yeah.
But before that, I had like CompuServe and Prodigy BBS systems in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So old school. But anyway, what I was going to say about wombats. A friend of mine who lived in Australia had a wombat, and the wombat kept digging out of the backyard because they're diggers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so
wait.
They're like little bears.
What'd you say? TOS. Diggers with a D.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's funny to me. Sorry.
So they put the wombat in their basement, and the wombat tunneled through the concrete basement.
Oh my god.
Like they didn't realize he was going behind this box in the basement every night, and like he dug through whatever a concrete basement is. Like it's got to be
The
2
cinder-
poured
Like
concrete.
the cinder blocks.
They
and-
have you
yeah.
seen their claws though?
I know, and he dug through it
sharp.
and got out.
Oh my god.
That is a friend that I want.
So how do you? It's like having an octopus too. Those things will get out of like every single freaking
Yeah.
tank that you put them in.
How can you have
They
an
can
octopus?
get out of like a hole that's like this.
There's videos of
this big.
octopi in
They're so
scientific
smart.
labs, and like the scientists will come in, and the octopus is like out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Like they seriously, they get out, they lift lids,
So
they watch
what?
people turn lights on and off and flip switches.
They're super intelligent. They can solve all these crazy puzzles, like, and they'll do it faster and faster each time. Oh man, it's crazy.
That is true. Wombats got to be free,
They do.
and they have square poops.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's weird.
Correct. Square
Goats have
boot.
square pupils or rectangular pupils.
I told Jessica this when we were
Goats
in
pee out the center of their body.
when
too.
we were in Wisconsin. I told Jessica this, and I guess since we're talking about weird animals, my very first public speech ever was in the 2nd grade, and it was about the platypus.
Oh.
And I remember it. And I remember it. This was my very first public speech in front of the class in 2nd grade.
It wasn't very long, was it, if you remember it?
The Platypus by John Tenney. The platypus has a bill like a duck and a tail like a beaver.
True.
It lays eggs like a bird, but it is a mammal. Also, it has venomous spurs on its ankles like a cobra. John Tenney.
The end.
That was my first public speech.
End of lecture.
Such a weird animal.
Such a weird
Yeah.
animal. Just throw all that in there and get it done.
Yeah, spare
we
parts.
need one more for Australia.
Spare
And
parts.
then I'm like my ex-wife. Shut up, Bacon. Get out of here. Good to see you, man. All right, we're gonna go smoke.
Alright, I guess I'll put the spaceship back.
Spaceship.
Is the spaceship on this?
Yes, it is up top, right there.
Oh, spaceship.
Yeah,
Cool.
Oh, I'll be right back, guys. Put some music on for you, just to keep you occupado. There you go.
Oh my gosh, but that John Stockton though.
Do you believe in life after love?
Thank you guys for waiting. We back. Ooh.
Oh, are we doing the game
Ooh.
screen?
Ooh.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
Oh.
What do you-
Sorry. He's gonna play another game.
And I'll answer questions. Any
All right.
questions anybody has. I have no secrets.
Sorry I missed all the chat there, bud. But we just came back. Any questions John will answer. So fire
If
it
I
up.
can answer them.
Fire it up.
Whoa, what is this
Oh,
game?
he's playing Metroid.
No, this is not Metroid.
It's like a tank. You're a
Not
tank.
Metroid, but the fuck is this?
Who knows?
Master Blaster?
Something.
That's Master Blaster, I think.
Am I playing or?
I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. How are you supposed to shoot those things that are at your wheels, like your bullets?
Am I playing or?
Oh, who knows?
I think you are because you're dying.
How can you tell I'm dying? Wait, what am I doing?
Is that his power? I don't know what HOV. Power is POW, but what is HOV?
Okay, there's
Master
jump.
Blaster. Yeah. Well, Metroid had a
Oh, died.
car we could get out of the first Metroid.
A lot of things seem
Yeah.
very similar in a lot of the early Nintendo and Atari-esque
Maybe
games.
not.
Like,
Yeah. All right, open forum for questions.
someone asked earlier about your book about the elf, when that would be, if that's ever gonna.
It'll come out whenever people stop talking about it.
So,
Yeah. If
you heard
guys-
it. Don't talk about
If
it.
you guys shut up, it'll come out. Yeah. Basically.
The elf thrives on people discussing the elf.
All right, if you could.
Like, if that makes any sense. And so, like, that's why I had to kind of get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it thrives on everywhere I would go. That's all anybody ever wanted to talk about. And I have other ideas I want to talk about. Like, I have other things.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, people were becoming obsessed
Yeah.
with it. And
It's
then
it's a weird story, dude.
it is a weird story, but then, like, I realized, like, oh, the more I'm talking about it, like, the happier it is and the less happy I am.
All right.
I don't want to play.
Oh, we don't have to. We can
Okay.
just go back to the normal screen.
All right.
Fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
We got about a half hour, so
All right. If you could go back to the
yeah.
Tenney screen.
Jess and I might carve pumpkins. I see that question there. I was thinking if we were going to carve pumpkins. It's a possibility. I'm hoping. I don't know how it happened, but I have a pumpkin growing in my backyard.
Just random pumpkin.
Yeah, I
How
think
do you
I
know-
think a squirrel hit a seed.
How do you
and-
Do
not
you
know
have
how
any
that
garden
happened?
stuff?
Like it just all of a
plants?
sudden there was a pumpkin plant, and
No.
now it's taken over like half of my backyard,
How do you not know that?
and it's super huge. And so I'm hoping the pumpkin grows, so I don't have to buy a pumpkin.
Oh,
But I
nice.
might buy a pumpkin and carve a pumpkin. I think Jess and I might carve pumpkins, maybe.
So put a 1 in chat if you guys are part of the museum, the traveling museum. You guys know what I'm talking about. Put a 1 in chat if you guys
I
are
have a
part
question. I'm always looking for book recommendations, but what are like a few book recommendations you would give out now? Whether it's ones you think people should read overall, or just 'tis the season, this time of year.
of that. Soon, Marley.
Let's see. That's a good question. I guess. You stumped me.
Oh,
What am I reading right now? I'm actually just reading a lot of old fiction. I'm reading a Tolkien book about Lord of the Rings. I'm reading a lot of enjoyment stuff right now. I think. Did you read
Hell yeah, Kyle.
Bergall's book on the history of the occult and rock and roll? Did you read
No.
that book?
no, but I did read a book on the occult that was recommended by Michelle.
Bellinger?
Yeah, that was like this freaking thick. It's like
Yeah.
a dictionary. I read it. It was great.
So you're talking about like
was
the
literally
whole
called
Jimmy
The
Page
Occult.
fucking like
Yeah, it
Crowley,
talks about-
Crowley connection.
Well, it just talks
yeah.
about all rock and roll stuff.
Yeah.
What's the name of the author again? I'm gonna write this down.
Bergall.
Burgle.
So Jimmy Page moved into Aleister Crowley's house, and soon moved out.
The occult history of rock and roll.
Occult,
so-
let's put that.
That's
Strange
that's-
Frequencies. It rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I read that. That was good.
Oh,
That's the
Bergall's,
same author.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Okay, so here's here's some fiction I think that people need to read.
Okay.
And it does. We don't all like a lot of times people talk about nonfiction paranormal stuff. I think there's some important fiction that people need to read because you can see occult thinking within it and how science fiction or fantasy writers, even though they might not be interested in the occult, like become almost influential because someone might have read their book. Like, Kenneth Grant is this huge occultist in the 70s. Kenneth Grant is basically just writing like science fiction and fantasy under the guise of occult writing.
Okay. Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant. You're not going to find any of his books for like less than $80 or $90.
Crap. I'll write it down anyways.
Yeah,
So.
I can get you copies, so don't worry about it. But
We know people.
the name, so I think people should read The Moon Pool by Merritt. That's a really kind of important book, I think.
Cool.
If you haven't read The Great God Pan by Arthur Machen,
The Great God Pan, absolutely.
I think
haven't read
that
it, but
I think that's
yeah.
something that people should read. That's the one I was talking about that I think influenced Josh subtly.
We have that book. It's in a box somewhere.
yeah.
I think that probably. Oh, look this up on the internet for me. I can't think of the name of the actual title of the book. It's something wolves.
Women Who Run with Wolves?
No. That's Clarissa Estola Pincas. That's a great book. That's an amazing book.
Yeah, it
Women
is an
Who Run-
amazing
Yeah,
book.
it's an amazing book. It's an Algernon Blackwood book called something Wolves. Can I look that up on my phone? Is that all right to do?
Blackwood, The Wolves of God?
The Wolves of God,
The
yes,
Lost
by
Valley,
yes,
The Wolves of
yes,
God.
The Wolves of God by Algernon Blackwood. I think is a good book that people should read, and then I also think so. Those are some fiction, a couple of fiction books that I think people read, and then I also think that people should look into and maybe just print out. Maybe you can find some art books by these artists, but Haynes Bach. So Hannesbok, Haynes Bach. Like, look at that artwork. I think that that's really interesting. And Virgil Findlay, Finlay.
I hate autocorrect. It has changed this 3 times.
This is me and my text too. However you spell shot.
You said Virgil? Sorry.
Virgil Finley. Those are 2 artists that I think if people look at their artwork, you can really glean some weird paranormal, supernatural, occult stuff out of it.
Well, let's take it back to like old school. Let's take it back to like people that don't read a lot or are starting out. Any John Keel book, right?
Yeah.
Any John Keel book.
Yeah,
Any Where the Footprints End is fucking great.
Where the Footprints End is great. I think that if people can get a hold of like
all this shit.
when I want to start people out like on an easy weird road, like I usually send them to like Disneyland of the Gods by John Keel. It's a shorter book. It throws you into strangeness right away. Passport to Magonia by Valet is great. Like those are some simple, insightful, not too, I mean, Jacques Vallée stuff can get fairly deep, fairly fast. There are a series of books by an author named Hilary Evans. One is like Apparitions, Ghosts, and Spacemen. And it came out around the same time as Jacques Vallée. But Hilary Evans wrote great work, and it's very... it's compilations and collections of... It's like Charles Fort. So, like, going and finding all of these weird stories that might... Like, there's a whole book... One chapter of the whole book is all on religious apparitions. And then all of a sudden you are reading about ghost apparitions. But then all of a sudden you're reading about ghostly, like, aliens that people are seeing. And then as the way that Evans puts it together, you're like, oh...
A lot of similarities.
All of this shit is the same.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of similarities to it. And then...
Some saying, yeah.
On top of that, I will tell people every now and then to, if you can track down something, almost everything that you can find by this guy is okay, I think, to read, but T.C. Lethbridge. T.C. Lethbridge was an archaeologist in England back in the 50s and 60s, and he studied dowsing.
Oh, with the rods and... Finding shit with the rods.
Mostly with a pendulum. He would douse with a pendulum.
Oh, just like swinging around?
And he did this immense study, years-long study, where he would train a pendulum like, this is gold. And he would teach the pendulum like, this is gold, right? Then he would go walk the fields, and he would find gold with his pendulum. Or he would train it like, this is a Roman artifact. And he would train it, this is a Roman artifact. And then he would, as an archaeologist, he would go out and discover sites with his pendulum. And in his books, he tells you, like, the length the pendulum needs to be, how many rotations it will make. Like, it's crazy. And he was also one of the very first people to suggest, really write about comprehensively, stone tape theory, which was the idea that because of the crystalline structure of rocks, that perhaps rocks can hold memory. So that's why castles are haunted, is because they've act as a giant recording device.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then...
It makes sense to use quartz crystals in, like, your phone and computers and
right,
stuff.
silicon is what computers are.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all quartz.
Yeah.
It's all made, yeah. So
okay, so wait. So that was nonfiction, some fiction, some artists, some more nonfiction, ending with Lethbridge. And then I'll tell, this is a favorite to throw at people, because it's Halloween and people are looking for movies to watch. So there's a movie that's called Quatermass and the Pit. Okay, it was made in the 1960s in England, and it's about a guy named Bernard Quatermass, and he's a paranormal researcher. And they find what looks to be an unexploded bomb under England. As they investigate, they realize that it's a rocket from 6 million years ago that came from Mars.
What?
And the area that the rocket has been hidden under in the ground for so long has experienced poltergeist phenomena. And they realize the poltergeist phenomena is related to the rocket in the ground, because the rocket in the ground came from Mars, which is filled with giant insectoids, whose warning system that someone was invading the rocket was giving people poltergeist and psychic phenomena.
What?
So it's this book, this movie that came out in the 1960s that
Oh,
is
I see it too.
that is ancient giant Martian crickets, poltergeists, ESP phenomena.
What was that called?
It's called Quatermass and the Pit, not Quartermass.
Like with a
Quater,
Q?
yeah, Quatermass and the Pit.
Mass.
And it touches on so many things, and the thing that's great about it is that the guy who wrote it read T.C. Lethbridge, and all of this weird stuff that we've been talking about. If you've never seen Quatermass in the Pit, it's like one of my favorite films. It scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid, because I remember seeing it maybe at 11 or 12 years old, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because the first half of the movie is like ghosts. The whole first half of the movie is ghosts, and people are seeing ghost cavemen and being attacked by poltergeists and being attacked psychically. Then they find a rocket. Then inside I didn't even mention this, inside the rocket, to get inside, the inside of the rocket is covered with occult symbols.
Oh.
So there's sigils inside the rocket.
Nice.
And when you figure the sigils out, then you get to the giant crickets that are inside that come from Mars.
Yeah, who hasn't seen that?
It's amazing. And then they take, I'm spoiling this movie from the
okay. I mean,
1960s. it's so great.
I'd still watch it. It doesn't matter.
It's so great. Then they create a helmet to put on a person to hook to the brain of one of these 6 million year old dead crickets, so that they can watch what the cricket saw 6 million years ago on a TV screen. Mm-hmm. And you see the Wild Hunt, which I don't know if you know what the Wild Hunt is, but the Wild Hunt is this...
Only from Witcher. Yeah.
Well, so there's this ancient archetype called the Wild Hunt, which is supposed to be like ghosts and spirits like hunt. And so the idea of the Wild Hunt actually comes from these Martian crickets 6 million years ago, because the Wild Hunt actually happened on Mars. It's the most crazy, bizarre movie you'll ever see, and I love it, and I hope you love it.
Apparently that movie's on Amazon Prime.
I own it on Blu-ray.
Excuse me. So before we wrap it up, I want to bring something up to you that Village Ruse said in the chat. Village Ruse said, might sound strange, but I've been feeling lately that the era of ghosts has been coming to an end. Either those energies are pushing forward with the everlasting growth, or something else is going on. I mean, you think the era of it's so saturated right now, like on TV and everything, like ghost hunters and whatever. They're all doing kind of the same thing. Like there's video games about it, and there's
I think that what's going to happen is, in all honesty,
sorry, we didn't turn the air on, so I'm sorry.
No, in all honesty, I think that what happens is we're all in a very nice, good, weird place right now. We're all starting to expand our thoughts and whatever. But as I said earlier, like there's 50% of the population that's not having it. Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen, I think, is that like the 50% that is expanding is going to need to say like, okay, listen, it's great, we're expanding, but we need to focus on getting that other 50% to like start being a little bit more open-minded. And I think that you're actually going to see in the next few years people calming down being so open with their weirdness, because we're going to realize that it has to be small baby steps with a lot of people.
Yeah.
How do you do it though?
I mean, what happens is we're going to have to learn how to be nicer. We're going to have to learn how to deal with each other in a different way.
If we're not John Tenney, how do we do that?
By having weird Twitch channels where you talk about weird shit.
Yeah. There you go.
And by being nice on Twitter.
There you go. There's your answer.
I mean, I know that it's a troll to a certain degree, but and people who follow me on Twitter know this, but like when someone attacks me, I always say like, I'm sorry you're lonely, like, but I'm glad I could give you some human interaction today. And then they'll block you immediately. Yeah. But the reality of the situation is like I am trying to be nice to them.
So, Ruse, do not say UAP. Don't do it.
UFO or flying saucer.
UFO, flying saucer, flying disc.
Yep. Don't say UAP.
UAP is... It's so funny that, like, unidentified aerial phenomena.
I mean, that could be...
But, I mean, that's even more nebulous than flying saucer or unidentified flying object.
Yep. Yep.
Right? Like an object is at least saying like there's something there.
Could be the Virgin Mary flying through the sky. She would be an unidentified
Yeah, right?
phenomena. I don't know.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
So it could be
you
put
just
on
say
like
the
religious.
Virgin Mary's in there right now.
Yeah, she's flying around. You know,
All right, I
Sure.
gotta go outside and look at.
she's a phenomena. People see her when they have religious experiences. Wouldn't that fall into that category? Which the government would probably be like, well, no, that's not what we meant.
And we haven't
but,
even started talking about the archetypes of the
Oh,
caves.
we haven't gotten to anything really.
Next time we will.
yeah.
Next time we go underground and we go to the caves.
Next time we eat the internet.
Where's the most popular Virgin Mary place that people go to see the Virgin Mary?
It's either
Is it
like
in
Puerto
Rome?
Rico or not Puerto Rico, but somewhere in Colombia.
That was in Rome.
No, in Italy you've got the.
Italy? Okay.
Yeah, you've got
I was
the,
way off, guys.
But it's in the grotto. It's in a cave. You have to go in a cave to see the Virgin Mary.
Oh.
Oh, look out!
Man.
Even Virgin Mary's hiding in caves.
Well, you know, she knew something we didn't.
Hell yeah.
Goblins.
All right.
Oh wait, that I wanted to kind of address that. According to Demi, Demi said that we're not supposed to use alien anymore for extraterrestrial visitors.
I get it.
I haven't watched that show because I'm kind of like,
No,
really?
but I saw that today. But here's my thing, and you guys know this because you've seen my lectures. I think that words are super important, and an alien.
The origins of word.
The
yeah,
origin of
yeah,
word, right?
yeah.
Like alien is derived from a French word, derived from Latin, derived from Greek, and literally alien means other than me. Like that's all it means.
So I'm an alien to you.
Yes.
We're all aliens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than me. That's what an alien actually is. Now, the terms that are built around it now, like might have bad connotations or however people think about that.
Gotcha.
But if we are historically talking about words, which is what I do a lot, like when people call themselves demonologists, right? There is a 600-year history of the word demonologist,
Yeah.
which means witch killer. Like, like that's a bad thing to call yourself a demonologist because there's a 600-year history of being called a witch killer.
Yeah.
But there is a thousands of year history of the word alien, meaning you're not me. And I feel like for people who aren't in my headset where I think everybody is me, saying like you're not me is fine.
Other than each other.
Yeah, other than each other.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. Absolutely.
So
yeah.
I think that it's okay. I think that, you know,
Well,
I mean,
hey,
I'm glad that
yeah.
Demi's making larger conversations and getting people to talk about it.
Well, dude.
I think it's really upsetting to me that, you know, UFO Twitter goes apeshit crazy because Tom DeLonge is like, I'm going to talk about aliens. And they're like, woo! And then Demi Lovato's like, I'm going to talk about aliens. And people are like, Demi's crazy. And I'm like, what's the difference between music stars?
What's the difference?
Like, if you were happy that Tom DeLonge was getting people to talk about it, then you should be happy that Demi Lovato is getting people to talk about it.
Yeah.
So just because.
But because most of UFOs are cis white male dudes.
Because she's a fucking woman.
Well, she's, you know.
You know what I mean?
A
It's different.
minority woman. Let's just put it that way. And Tom DeLonge, he's still going. His guys pieced out to the stars. They pieced out,
Yeah.
and they're doing their things. Tom DeLonge's still going to the stars. You know, whatever.
Get people to talk about it.
Fucking
Embrace
good
your
for him, man.
weirdness and diversify your weirdness.
Yeah, diversify your weirdness, man. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed.
There's no one right answer. There's no solution. And that's why I asked you before. Do you want an answer? I
No.
don't think we do.
No.
We don't want an answer.
I want to be able to have weird conversations like this for the rest
Yeah.
of my life.
Yes, I agree.
And like John says at all his lectures, who fucking cares?
Does he say that?
I kind of say that.
No, he says, who cares if all this is bullshit, right? It's
If-
all bullshit. But if it gets people together to talk,
Yes.
that's important.
That is what I say.
That's important.
Yeah. If there are no ghosts, if there are no UFOs, if there
Yeah.
are no Bigfoot, if it's simply a mechanism to talk to each other about our deep felt understandings and questions of who we are and what reality is, then it's still immensely, vastly important.
Yeah. So sorry I didn't catch up with chat at all. We're about to end it right now. Final question, John.
Yeah.
Do ghosts wear underpants?
Oh, that's.
You asked that all
Some
the
of
time,
them.
but
Some of them.
Why?
Because they're wearing clothes. And
Well-
when they lay in bed at night and they want to itch their butthole, they don't want to. scratch their butthole, so they want to have a little piece of cloth there.
Okay,
Fair enough.
there you go. Kyle, you heard it here,
That is
first,
the
guys.
age-old question. It's
Ghosts,
true.
of course, they were underpants.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Which ones? Like the 16...
The ones who want to itch their butts and not,
Yeah.
you know, or the ones who, like, maybe they have a leaky butt and they don't want it to immediately get on the bed.
Makes sense.
Gives them an extra couple seconds to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Any final words, Mr. Tenney?
No, thanks for having me. I had
Anything
fun.
you
Thanks
wanna-
for being here.
Anything you want to
Always a
advertise? Like,
pleasure.
where you going next? What are we doing? What are we
Put
doing?
his links. Put the
yeah.
Twitter
I have
link.
seance with Kyle on Saturday.
Give a
Kyle
link to
Paranormal
Kyle's.
is in chat right now. Give a shout out to him. Please go follow him and pay attention to Kyle Paranormal. Him and Jess will be there.
You're not doing it right.
Oh, S-I.
S-O. You'll
I
get
can't
it.
type.
That's fine.
Shut up.
Villagers already did it. You're good.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
If you could do exclamation W-U-W.
Here's all this shit. There you go. Yo, click on all those
That's
links. Please
Twitter. That's yep.
That's all my stuff, people.
take care of this guy. He's old.
I'm an old
Listen
grumpy
to the
man.
podcast. It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome
That's
and
all right.
funny and yeah.
It's all right.
You feel like you're listening on something weird and special.
Top tier.
That's a
yeah,
good time.
absolutely.
What's that?
Oh, that's our CPU.
Oh,
It's
What?
it's going hard. It's at like 90.
there's so much technology
95%.
here. It drives my old man brain crazy.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of stuff.
We
Got a lot
can't.
of stuff.
She knows more than I do nowadays.
I
I
think
learned
that
a
she's.
lot.
I think she's always known more than him.
I got
Maybe.
a lot of shit going on right
So,
now.
yeah, it's very possible.
Alright. You guys have a fucking great night.
Yes,
Bye, gang.
Thank
John
you
Tenney.
guys. All the love.
John fucking Tenney. Thank you, sir.
And yeah. Till next time. Stay weird. Be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other.
And wash your holes.
That too.
Yeah, for sure.
I stole that, but wash them. All right, bye guys. Where's my mouse?
I don't know where it is.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Bye.
Up one. Up.